roads and highways. What is the status of indebtedness?
Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, please. This is the first question we are asking a minister under this regime. So please, I hope it's going to open up for members to follow up with a lot of questions. So, Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways, kindly hold on for me to acknowledge our children at the public gallery. They are Mass Educational Center, Mass Educational Center. They are being led by Mr. Samuel Boateng, who is the headmaster, and the school is located at Weja Bawe constituency. The second school is Kotobabi 7 Junior High School. Kotobabi 7 Junior High School. The leader is Trebi Ashite Shadrach, who is also the head teacher, and the school is located at Ayawaso Central Constituency. And the third school is Scott L. Kamona College of Business. Scott L. Kamona College of Business. They are not yet here. So, our children who have found their way into the chamber, we are pleased that you've come to witness. You are members of Parliament. You are here to monitor us, and I believe that will inform you to study hard, to study extremely hard, so that you take over from us when we retire. So you are welcome. So, Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways, let me now invite you to take the podium.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the response to the question asked by my colleague is as follows. Ministry of Roads and Highways, indebtedness and commitment as at December 2024. The total indebtedness in the ministry as at December 2024 is 21,260,270.52 pesos. That is what is on record at us now. Mr. Speaker, I must put on record.
Can you take the figures again?
21,260,270 cedis and 52 pesos. The breakdown of this debt is as follows. Consolidated fund projects, 15,339,887,294 cedis and 92 pesos. Ghana Road Fund projects, 5,662,772,975 cedis and 60 pesos. These pending debts cover payment certificate from 2018 to 2024. It is worth noting that these debts do not include interest accrued to delayed payment. And Mr. Speaker, on record, the interest on delayed payment can go as high as 50% or even 100% on some of the projects. In November 2019, 1.2 billion was borrowed from syndicated banks to finance the road maintenance. However, the Ghana Road Fund still owe contractors bills dating as far back as 2018, some as low as 2,000 Ghana cedis. At the close of 2024, outstanding commitment in the road sector representing unexecuted contracts segment were estimated at 103 billion and 500 million. Exclusive of adjustments for variations on contracts which are yet to be agreed. The sector is further challenged by numerous contracts awarded with insufficient financial planning, often lacking the mandatory commencement warrant as stipulated by the Public Financial Management Act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes. Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
I would like to ask the Minister, based on the commitment, how is he intend to pay those?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very important question. All I will say is...
It's very important indeed.
Yes. As and when government gets more resources, we'll retire this debt and also continue to do what is required by adding on more projects. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, based on the figures, does it mean that projects that are ongoing but the contractors have not submitted certificates are not part of the figures you mentioned to us?
Mr. Speaker, I know you don't participate in debate, but road matters cover everybody. You are also a member of parliament, so it's a relevant question. Yes, Mr. Speaker, the part, that is why we segment it into debt and commitment. The debt is what is the certificates that have been approved for payment, but unfortunately we can't pay. So those projects that are yet to be certified come under commitment.
Very well. Yes, Honorable Member for Offinso North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Minister what plans does he have to realign the commitment of the ministry to reflect the budget of the ministry. I'm asking this question because, Mr. Speaker, the commitments of the ministry are not projects that are sometimes awarded and ongoing. It could be a project that have been agreed, signed in the books for several years, but is still sitting in the books of the ministry as commitment. Some are as far back as 6 years and 5 years. I want to ask the minister if he has any plan of, reviewing those projects and taking them off from the books of the ministry so that the commitment of the ministry or the obligation of the ministry will reduce. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, yes, my colleague is very right. We are currently undergoing an exercise at the ministry to rationalize the portfolio, to tell exactly whether every contract awarded is actually active. On record, some contracts are awarded and the contractors never turn up on site. And every contract has got a termination clause. If a contract is awarded and for 2 years, 3 years, the contractor never turned up on site, it is difficult to understand whether that is still a valid contract. So he's right. We are rationalizing procedures there to determine exactly what is commitment and what is project we can take off our books to make sure we are dealing with the right numbers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Samson Ahi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister has just told us that the debt of over 21 billion excludes interest on the debt, which he claims sometimes ranges over 50% on the debt. I want to find out from the Minister, is there a way to find out or to ensure that officials, technical people whose negligence has resulted into this huge interest payment will be punished? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I did not exactly attribute the interest on delayed payment to the negligence of any technical staff. But, Mr. Speaker, it is also clear that part of the reason for this unsustainable cost is the uncontrolled way of contracting. Mr. Speaker, today I will be answering another 11 or 12 questions rightly put by our colleagues demanding to hear from me actions that are going to be taken on their roads. Mr. Speaker, it is for no reason that the road minister answers questions more than any minister, because roads are critical for everything we do. So, yes, you are right. If it is proven that any body negligently caused an expenditure which we shouldn't have been paying, the laws exist for that person to be punished. But that is not for me to determine currently, because I do not have any evidence of anybody, based on these answers I provided, about anybody being negligent in the numbers I mentioned. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Available leader, you hold on. So you are now available leader. So I'll give you the last slot. Yes, let me go to Okre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just need some clarity. The Honourable Minister indicated that the outstanding debt and commitments ranges from 2018 to 2024. Is the Honourable Minister telling us that before this year, all the commitment that is stated, our 100 billion, if I heard him right, we don't have commitment from 2016 to 2017 in addition? And is he saying that within the debt, there's no carry forward debt from 2016 and 2017? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, that is a good question.
Honourable members, please, let's listen to the Minister, please.
On record, the commitment up to January 2017 was about 17 billion Ghana cedi. And the former minister, former colleague, Honorable Abuakwa stood at the same place and made us aware that as of the time NDC was leaving power in January 2017, the total commitment was 17 billion. That compared to over 105 billion today. So you can see the contrast. Indeed, the debt as of 2017 January was about 3.5 billion. That compared to 21 billion today. You can see the contrast. There's something wrong with the way we contract. This debt is not sustainable. We need to do something as a house as to how we contract. So it is not about blaming any government, but the point is that I'm saying that what we paid, the 2018 is the cut-off date. It means that the debt up to 2018 have been cleared, according to the data. What we are dealing with is 2018 and to this time. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the Minister if this narration includes or excludes the Cocoa Road project stalled from 2017 to 2024. Thank you.
Well, I was going to ask the same question. Yes, Honourable.
Mr. Speaker, that does not include Cocoa Road projects. As you may all be aware, the Ministry of Roads only provide limited supervision of the Cocoa Road project. The debt there is also over 5 billion currently. So if you were to add the Cocoa Road and others, it is quite scary. So Cocoa Road figures are not inclusive of what I've just given up. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Kabiru.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a follow-up to the question on interest on the back of the principal. The minister mentioned that we have about 21,260,217 Ghana cedi 50 pesos as the outstanding debt, or if you like, principal of all government contracts between 2017 and 2024. He mentioned that this is without prejudice to the interest payment. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister, how much is the interest accumulated on the back of this principal? Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, are you mindful to answer the question? Very well.
Mr. Speaker, it will be difficult to give an accurate figure of interest on delayed payment. Normally, it is when the payment is due that the actual interest is calculated. But Mr. Speaker, you will notice that during my vetting, I gave out, for instance, in 2018, we were owing under GOG 113 million Ghana cedi. As of the time I was being vetted, the interest on the 113 million was million. Interest on the 113 million, as of because of just one line item, was over 750 million. That is the interest alone on the 113 million. So if you were to project from 2013 on all the indebtedness, Mr. Speaker, that figure will be more than 40 billion. So it is something that I'm going to come to the House with, because, Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether it will be fair to Ghanaians that they got 20 million cedis worth of road. That is, even if we are able to pay. Yet they are supposed to pay another 30 billion for no road done. I don't think that is fair, and we need to find another way of contracting, and also to make sure that contractors do not lose out, because this money is, I mean, it's in the law, and it's 30% compounding. Is that a way, a good way of writing contracts? But Mr. Speaker, when we get there, we'll discuss that.
Well. Yes, my brother, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to find out from the minister whether you will consider constituting a proper audit team to look into these debts, as to whether these debts are really genuine. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, during the budget hearing of my ministry with the Ministry of Finance, they've already signaled that they may want to take a second look at the figures to be sure that they are not overpaying. Why did he say that, Mr. Speaker? It is not uncommon for a road project to be awarded with the source of funding for, let's say, road fund. Somewhere down the road, the contractor decides that they should change the funding source to GOG. There is no clear way of road fund knowing whether that certificate has been honored by GOG. So it could happen that if care is not taken, the same certificate could be honored by GOG and at the same time by a road fund. So there will be the need for us to look into that to make sure that we pay what is due people and not overpay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I think, yes. I think I will.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways is one of the most diligent members of this House, very punctual and also pragmatic. But Mr. Speaker, in responding to the questioner as to what his outfit will be doing to ensure that these commitments are met for the roads to be built, his response was that as and when government gets resources, But I know governments to be very pragmatic and proactive. So I want to ask him, what are the concrete steps that he intends to put forward for these commitments to be met for our constituents to benefit from these rules? Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, government sources of getting money are defined. Unfortunately, this House determines how government gets money, either by loans or by taxation. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister will be in the House on the 11th of next month to outline the ways by which he is going to tackle the debt and also make way for new things to be done. So I wouldn't want to jump the gun by suggesting something, but one of the ways this House can look at is to consider how we can get our own sources of funding. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, we don't have the opportunity to borrow money to do anything. It will be necessary for us to find ways of generating our resources. Mr. Speaker, it is for no reason that I decided together with my colleagues that the road toll should be brought back. That will be another way. It may not be the solution, but it will be a small way of solving the small part of the problem while we wait for a bigger opportunity. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll be coming to the House to determine the ways we can get internally, significant internal resources to be able to work on our roads.
Thank you very much. Yes, okay, very well. Yes, I'll take the last bite. Okay.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Thank you, Chief, for ceding to me. Mr. Speaker, listening to the Honorable Minister, I want the House very respectfully to be very clear in our minds as to what has resulted in the astronomical increase in the debt in the sector. Mr. Speaker, is it as a result of penalty for delayed payments or interest? Because he keeps referring to interest as if it's interest on a loan. But if it is penalty for delayed payments, that ought to be clear. And that we ought to be clear in our minds that these are payments that have resulted from default in servicing the road debt or road contracts as and when they become due. So that clarity is very important.
Very well. Minister, I hope you got him. Very well.
Mr. Speaker, I was very clear when I said the 21 billion does not include interest on delayed payment at all. But Mr. Speaker, for instance, we are currently building some bypasses on Accra-Kumasi Road. The total contract sum at the time of contracting was 1.9 billion. The contract is still within contract period. We are being asked to do a variation of 1.7 billion on top of the 1.9 billion. The question is, how were we able to do a variation or determine a 1.7 billion variation on a contract that is 1.9 billion? Something must be wrong. In fact, on some of the projects, the variation required is over 100%. So, yes, over 100% on a project that is active within the contractual period. So is it the case that the project was not prepared? In fact, the last time we were speaking, when Honorable Oponkruma read a statement on PPP, my colleague, the former road minister, gave a suggestion that one of the reasons we arrived at that position is because of the rush in getting projects started without proper packaging of the project. On this project, for instance, the understanding is that we were in a hurry to do the bypasses on the Accra-Kumasi Road. And instead of doing a proper study, somebody flew a drone over the alignment and contracted. The contractor got to the site and realized that there were galamsey pits under the cocoa trees. So the variation is coming as a result of some people failing to do due packaging and doing proper costing. That is what has resulted into this. So I hope my colleague who asked the question will know that sometimes It is as a result of negligence in terms of packaging of projects. And I am determined that we shall do whatever it takes to minimize the unnecessary variation on the projects that we undertake going forward.
Lastly, the Leader of the House.
Mr. Speaker, mine is not a follow-up question, but listening to the Minister, on several occasions, he has asked for the House to assist him to get a sense of direction, what to do about the problems that he has encountered in the road sector that he has highlighted in his various answers based on the questions that have been asked. And so, Mr. Speaker, I think that the problem looks systemic. It's the whole system and how the system functions. This is the kind of issue that this Parliament should conduct an inquiry and a probe into, to understand the nature of the problem, to listen to experts, and come up with some specific recommendations to guide how we manage our road sector. Like he said, you can have a situation where you get a road valued at 1 billion and then you end up with a debt of 50 billion, 30 billion. Clearly, a number of institutions have worked in a manner that doesn't serve the interest of the country. And so we need to understand that. We need to understand what is happening. Is the fault coming from the finance ministry? Is the fault coming from the budgeting arrangement? Is the fault coming from the roads ministry, from the awarding institutions, from the contractors in the execution of the projects? What are the sources of the delays? What are the sources of the delays in the payments or in the execution of the project? This is how we should approach these challenges so that we can have some clear direction. So I will suggest that, Mr. Speaker, you direct that this matter should be referred to the Roads Committee and the Finance Committee when we establish them, so that they can inquire into it, come up with some recommendations. Then, as a Parliament, we will be in a better position to guide the Minister. That's the only way that we can make progress. Otherwise, we'll keep asking these questions and we'll keep getting these answers. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. I thought you said you've yielded yours too. Come again. Let me hear you, Leader. Initially, he said he has given, that's why I'm, but no, go on.
Speaker, let me commend my minister. At least he is the first minister to appear. All the other ministers have written to give one reason or the other. He's the first minister to appear, and I commend him highly. We miss him anyway. I miss him. Mr. Speaker, let me corroborate what the leader said. However, it's important we put matters in perspective, because I recall there were a number of questions directed to the minister, and he duly answered all the questions. However, we need to define the terms. What is the Speaker going to direct on? Is it a concern, a variable in terms of how contracts are awarded, the payment, the mode of variations being done and all that? So we need to be clear on the terms of referral. Otherwise, we will be moving in cycle. And to that extent, I want yes, there should be some drafting for certainty in terms of the terms that will be referred to the minister. Clearly, the minister on a number of times have indicated his willingness to come to this house for assistance. So, not to reinvent the wheel, we probably have to define the terms, and then I'm sure we can get it clarified. I had a question, but I will withdraw the question for now. At appropriate time.
Thank you very much.
At appropriate time, I will ask you my question.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, this is the urgent question. The minister is here again to answer 11 other questions from honorable members. So you know he has a lot of job to do today. So we are going to go this way. The owner of the question may ask his question. If the question is constituency specific, the supplementary question will be limited to the owner of the question alone. And the supplementary question is going to be 2. The main question, 2 supplementary questions. And as I said, if the question is constituency related, the supplementary question is only going to be limited to the honorable member who owns the question. So we will start from question, that is question 8, item 7. Question 8, item 7. And the question stands in the name of Dr. Freche, a member for Offinso North. Honorable member, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My question to the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways is to ask when the Afrancho, Akumadan, Nkenkenso, Daso, and Kobreso town routes and 8 area route upgrading project awarded by the previous MPP government will be completed.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Afrancho Town roads.
My friend saying 8 years, please, is entitled to the question. He has asked the question. The minister is here to respond, please. Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Afrancho Town roads. Background. Afrancho is one of the principal towns in the Offinso North district of the Ashanti region. It is located along the Kumasi-Techiman Highway. It is a gravel road with fair surface condition. Current program. The Afrancho Town Road have been awarded under the contract title Upgrading of Afrancho Town Roads and Others, 10.75 kilometers, to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on 15th of October 2024 for completion by 14th April 2026. The progress of work is estimated to be 41% physical completion. The contractor is currently on site and work is progressing. Akomodan Town Road. Background. Akomodan is the capital of Offinso North district of Ashanti region. It is located along the Kumasi-Techiman Highway. It is a gravel road with fair surface condition. Current program, the Akomodan Town roads have been awarded under a contract title Upgrading of Afrancho Town Roads and Others, 10.75 kilometers, to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on the 15th of October for completion by 14th of April 2026. The progress of work is estimated as 41% physical completion and the contractor is currently on site. 3. Nkikanso Town Road. Background. Nkikanso is one of the principal towns in the Offinso North district of the Ashanti region. It is located along the Kumasi-Techiman Highway, which is a gravel road with poor surface condition. Current program. The Nkenkaso Town Road have been awarded under the contract title Upgrading of Nkenkaso Town Road, 8.75 kilometers, to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on 24th January 2025 for completion on the 6th of August 2026. The next one, Daso Town Roads. Background, Daso is one of the principal towns in the Offinso North district of Ashanti region. It is located along the Kumasi-Techiman Highway. It is a gravel road with a fair surface condition. Current program. The Daso Town Road have been awarded under a contract title Upgrading of Cobreso Town Road, and others, 13.7 kilometers, to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on the 24th of January 2025 to be completed by 6th of August 2026. The contractor is currently mobilizing to commence the works. Cobreso Town Roads, background. Cobreso is one of the principal towns in the Offinso North district of Ashanti region. It is located along the Kumasi-Techiman Highway. It is gravel road with fair surface condition. Program. The Cobreso Town Road have been awarded under a contract titled Upgrading of Cobreso Town Roads and Others, 13.7 kilometers to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on 24th January 2025 for completion on 6th of August 2026. The contractor is currently mobilizing to commence work on site.
Yes, Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask, with the current state of the routes in Offinso North, I want the Honorable Minister to assure us how he's going to help the contractor to mobilize as quickly to the site, because it's posing a lot of inconvenience to the good people of Offinso North, and in some instances, it's even posing a health risk to the good people of Offinso North.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I sympathize with my colleague on the nature of the road he describes, and I know when roads are in that condition, as a member of parliament, you get a lot of pressure from your constituents as to what you can do. Some of the projects are already on site. A few of them, two of them, the contractors are now mobilizing. For mobilization, there is the responsibility of the contractor. And as I indicated earlier, we'll do as much as we can to mobilize funds and to pay the bills. On this particular project, I am not aware of what certificates have been raised. In any case, the project started, many of them started this year, so it's unlikely that the contractors are demanding payment. But whatever we can do to make sure the contractors work, we shall do within our limits. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Your final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I would like to ask, what can be done temporarily for the good people of Offinso North so that these roads can be motorable?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, when roads are on contract, normally it is the responsibility of the contractors to keep the roads motorable, especially if it's an existing road. So we shall insist that the contractors carry out the necessary activities that make the road motorable at the same time when they continue the construction. So there will not be any need for an external help or getting somebody else there to do anything. It is the responsibility of the contractor to make sure the road remains reasonably motorable at the time of doing the work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Leader, like I said, this constituency specific. After everything, leader, you can get a slot for you, but let's because we have 11, 12 questions to answer so that we can move on.
Speaker, I will plead with you. This is a very important follow-up, and he made a very important. The minister made a very important statement that part of the contractor's functionality is to ensure that the road is motorable. I want to plead with my colleague. It's not specific to him. It's a general situation in the country. Would he want to reach out to the contractors so that that part of their function is not abandoned?
Mr. Speaker, I agree with the whip. On many occasions, we have members of the public complaining about roads in their neighborhood that are under construction that are in deplorable state. Indeed, part of the contract sum requires, and the obligation on the contractors is to make sure that the roads remain reasonably motorable even at the time of construction. And I know contractors who have diligently adhere to this to make sure that whilst it's not a completed road for you to drive at the speed you want to drive, they remain motorable for them to. So I make a commitment that we'll keep insisting and then encouraging contractors to carry out that part of their responsibility whenever they undertake road projects in our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We turn to question 8. Question 8. And the question stands in the name of Honorable Frank Yabua, a member for Achuma and Wabiajanov. Honorable, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the ministry plans to construct the Offinso Rapon Road in the Achuma and Wabiajanov municipality. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Offinso Rapon is captured on the Department of Federal Road database as Offinso Bonswa Wawase Federal Road, 33 kilometers, and Bonswa Rapon Adekrum, 14 kilometers. Some sections of this road are partially engineered, while some sections are unengineered. The Offinso Bonswa Rapon is 19 kilometers long and located in the Offinso and Achuma Nobiaja municipalities of the Ashanti region. It is gravel road in poor surface condition. Current program. There is no program on the Offinso Bonswa Wawase Federal Road. However, the Bonswa Rapon Adekrum Road was awarded in 2 phases as follows. Phase 1, upgrading of Bonswa Rapon Adekrum Road, kilometer 0 to kilometer 7. Phase 2, upgrading of Bonswa Rapon Adekrum, kilometer 7 to kilometer 16.4. Upgrading of Bonswa Rapon Adekrum Road, kilometer 0 to kilometer 7 to bituminous surface. The contract commenced on the 13th of January 2021 for completion on the 12th of January 2022. The progress of work is estimated at 7% physical completion. The contractor is currently not on site and works have stalled. The contract has been recommended for termination.
Yes, Honorable Yabua, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And to the Honorable Minister, since the contract is going to be terminated, how soon can you fast track the process of termination so that we will just re-award to somebody who can do the work? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, embedded in every contract is the termination clauses. We shall explore the appropriate termination clauses to avoid being sued. But as I said, it has already been recommended for termination. It means some of the process have been carried out already. I'll work with you to see how quickly we can terminate and then hopefully repackage for to have another shot at trying to get it fixed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Oben, do you want to speak?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
But I hope I gave the initial groundwork.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I am only begging you to allow me to make a short comment. My people on the right, they will benefit from what I'm going to say. Especially,
Honorable Oben, Honorable Oben, you let me follow my own rules. Later on, I'll see how best to address.
Mr. Speaker, the whip.
He is a leader.
Yeah, the whip.
He is a leader.
Mr. Speaker, the whip indicated that.
Honorable Oben.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Oben, he is a leader.
Yes.
You hold on. I'll find a way of giving you opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Yes, Honorable Frank, your last supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have any question again. Thank you very much. It's fine. I'll work with the minister on that. So thank you very much. There's no question.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, we turn to question 9. Question 9, and that question stands in the name of the same person, Honorable Frank Yeboah. Achumanwa Biajanov. Honorable, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is to ask the minister the plan.
Honorable, please speak up. I mean, just get closer to the mic and speak up, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. To ask the minister the plans the ministry has in respect of the Amansie Offinso Road and the Adankwame Intensive Road in the Achuma Kwabre North municipality, which construction has been stalled. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, Amansie Offinso Road. Background, Mr. Speaker. The Amansie Offinso Road forms part of the Abuakwa Junction Barikese Offinso Road, which is a regional route 052. The road connects Kumasi at Abuakwa Junction through major towns such as Boshen, Abuakwa, Atofua, Amansie, Asofia, Kokuben, Achiasi, Adankwame communities along the corridor to Offinso. The road traverses the Echuma Nobiajak district and Offinso municipalities of the Ashanti region. The Abuakwa Junction Barikese Offinso Road is a 35.9 kilometer bituminous surface treated road in fair to poor condition. The road is being rehabilitated and upgraded to asphaltic concrete surface in phases. Current program. The Amansie Offinso section of the road has been awarded in 3 lots. That's lot 3, 4, and 5. With the contract details below. Rehabilitation of Abuakwa Junction, Barikese Offinso Road, 12 kilometer 12 to 21, lot 3.
Honorable members, there are so many discussions and meetings in the chamber. Please, let's listen to the minister.
Rehabilitation of Abuakwa Junction, Barikese Offinso Road, kilometer 21 to 29, lot 4. Rehabilitation of Abuakwa Junction to Barikese Offinso Road, kilometer 29 to 35.9, that's lot 5. Information available indicate that the contractor has been on site and work is progressing steadily on all the lots. The physical progress of works is as follows. Lot 3, 61.32%, Lot 4, 60.45%, and Lot 5, 60.26%. The projects are ahead of schedule and expected to be completed according to contractor's work program. B. Adukwame Intensire. Background. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Background. The Adankwame.
Honorable members. Yes.
Adankwame.
Adankwame. Adankwame.
But my name is Kwame. The way the Kwame is written is the same. So what's the Adankwame Intensire Feeder Road is a 13-kilometer long road. It serves as a connector road linking 2 highways, the Kumasi Barikese and then Kumasi Sunyani Road. It is a gravel surface engineered road in poor condition. It is located in the Echuma Nobiaja municipalities of the Ashanti region. Current program. The Adankwame Intensire Feeder Road has been awarded under the contract title Upgrading of Adankwame Intensire Road, 13 kilometers, to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on 10th of February 2025 and is expected to be completed on the 10th of August 2026. The contractor is currently mobilizing to commence work on site. Nana Asafo, oh no, okay, that's a different question.
Yes, Honorable, any supplementary question?
Yes, the minister mentioned that the contractor is mobilizing to site. This mobilizing here, does it mean that he's been paid mobilization and is preparing to go to the site, or yet to be paid mobilization?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mobilization is not about money. It's about the contractor getting themselves ready to go to site. Yes, there's something we all know as mobilization, which is money. That is paying advance money to contractors to go to site. It is not very likely on government of Ghana funded projects, or it's not common to pay mobilization before contractors go on site. I doubt if this particular project has a function of an advance payment.
Your last.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to thank the minister for the answer, and just to say that my people will not be happy the way he managed to pronounce the names. So I'll see him later on a lighter note, and then help him learn how to pronounce the towns of the names of my towns. Adam Kwame is Adam Kwame. So I'll see you in Chambers.
Thank you.
I'll see you later, and then
see the minister
yes,
privately.
Yes.
And train her. So, honorable members, we turn to question 10. Question 10, and the question stands in the name of Nana Asafo Eje Aye, a member for Bosome Freho. Honorable member, the minister is available. You have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I'm grateful. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to ask the Minister for Roads and Highway what plans the government has to construct the following roads in my constituency. Peposo to Esiwa Road, Mrontuo to Ankasi Road, Esiwa to Abosamso Asamama Road, Jumechi to Abosamso Asamama Road, Inswayem to Tebesu Road, Enyanso to Tebesu Road, Enyanso to Inswayem Road, Insuta to Nsese, Insuta to Damascus and Apia Krom, Keteke to Supom, all in the Bosome Freho constituency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity.
No, I'm laughing because he's mentioning the names I know very well. Oh, no, don't mention. Power for 8 years. Don't say that. He's entitled to ask the question. Minister, you have the floor.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Beposo Esiwa, 16.4 kilometers. Mrontua Nkase Road, 20 kilometers. Esiwa Abosamso Esumama, 17.6 kilometers. Dumechi Abosamso, 21.33 kilometers. Nswayem Tebeso, 12.4 kilometers. Anyaso Tebeso, Nswayem 10.6 kilometers, and Nsuta Nsese, and then Nsuta Damascus Apia Krom, and Keteke Supon 6.85 kilometers. Current program. There are no programs on these roads. Future program. Engineering design studies are programmed to be carried out on these roads by end of the second quarter of 2025 to assess the appropriate interventions thereafter, which, if done, will be included in the 2026 budget.
Yes, Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am grateful for the response. Mr. Speaker, but I want to plead with the Minister. I mean, the current state of the roads are so bad. reports from all the health centers and hospitals in Bosomifreho states clearly that majority of the problems that we suffer are dust, health, lungs related problems. I am asking the minister what immediate or temporary measure can be put in place whilst we await the proper awarding of the contract by the ministry. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would work with my colleague together with the relevant road agencies to, as much as possible, carry out interventions that would at least minimize the condition he's described. I agree with him that dusty roads and others can actually increase chances of respiratory diseases, and so I would work with him. I suspect these are feeder roads. We work with Department of Feeder Roads to continue working to improve it until we do the major interventions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will be extremely grateful to work hand in hand with the minister to ensure some of these things being done. Mr. Speaker, only to also draw the minister's attention that approval was given to the number 3, that is the Siwa and Swayema Bosamso Asamama roads. And I would get to him to, working hand in hand to ensure that we finalize that road. Mr. Speaker, finally, I want to ask that, if there can be some timelines that would help me as a member of parliament to also follow up and ensure that these commitments by the government are done. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, yes, indeed, my colleague approached me before asking the question to brief me on an intervention that is ongoing, and I assured him that we'll follow up together to see that particular process to its logical conclusion. Timelines, I'm unable to offer a timeline. I know generally this year we are going to carry out a lot more maintenance works on roads, so surely we should include some of the things you've described here for an intervention when we get there. So whilst I can assure you that we'll do something about it, I'm unable to give you timelines as to when we can carry it out. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, we turn to question 11. And before I will invite Honourable Nana Oseje for New Juaben to ask his question, let me bring to your attention that yesterday, Mr. Speaker brought to our attention the communication from His Excellency the President on 10 February 2025, informing the House of the nomination of Mr. Michael Harry-Yamson as the Acting Administrator of the District Assembly Common Fund DACF for the approval of Parliament in accordance with Article 2524 of the 1992 Constitution. I think yesterday when Mr. Speaker made the announcement was short of referring the nominee to the appointment committee. I hereby do so by referring the nominee, which is the President's nominee to the District Assembly Common Fund, to the appointment committee for processing and report back to the House. So, honourable members, we turn to question 11. Question 11, and it stands the name of Nana Oseyeje, New Juaben North. Yes, Honourable, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I would like to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the ministry plans to construct the deplorable road from Akodun roundabout to Afigya Kingsby roundabout in the New Juaben North constituency.
Yes, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, please stop saying that. Everybody's entitled, no matter the period. So please allow members to ask their questions. The minister is willing to respond to the questions. Minister, you have the floor. Respond to them.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Background. The Aquedome runabout Efijuase-Kingsby Road forms part of Koforidua-Efijuase-Suhum Road, 25 kilometers. It is a regional road, R41, in poor condition. Current program. There is no program on this road. Future program. Engineering design studies have been carried out on the road, and cost estimates have been submitted to assess the appropriate intervention, after which consideration would be made and in the 2026 budget.
Yes, Honorable, any supplementary question?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm grateful for the response given by the Minister for Roads and Highways. But, Right Honorable Speaker, I would like the Minister to also know that this road is a very, very busy road in the New Juaben North constituency. The road leads to the new Eastern Regional Hospital. The new Eastern Regional Hospital, started by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, which is about 70% complete. I would like to find out from the Minister that in the interim, what can be done so that the road will be a bit more motorable and the dusty situations will come down. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I acknowledge that this road actually leads to the proposed regional hospital, which is abandoned at the moment. The project, the regional hospital project is stalled as well. Yes, I agree with him that we need to work on it. Hopefully, by the time we get a hospital up and running, the road would have been done to make sure they function appropriately.
Thank you very much. We move to question 12. Oh, okay. Let's hear your last supplementary question.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. As the Minister for Roads said, the hospital is about 70% complete. And I know that from the speech read by His Excellency the President yesterday, the 30% will be done by the NDC government. Right Honorable Speaker, my second question is, the road is very deplorable. So my question is, in the interim, what can he do about it for the good people of New Juaben North?
Is it different from the first supplementary question? Yes, Leader, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we will look at the best ways. I think this will be it's likely urban road. We'll look at the best way to do some maintenance works on it. Standing here, I don't know the extent of damage the road has, but depending on the level of damage, that will determine the level of interventions we can make. But I can assure you, we'll work together to see what we can do to make it motorable until we find a solution after 2026.
Thank you very much. Now, question 12. And the question stands in the name of Honorable Akwesi Jemfi Unyene Champon, a member for Kwabre East. I know you are a member for Empreso.
Mr. Speaker, I have his permission to ask the question on his behalf.
Let's hear you.
Mr. Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Kwabre East seeks to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the following road projects in Kwabre East constituency would be resumed and completed. 1. Fawadi Kenyase. 2. Mampontain to Ahojo. 3. Medoma Abbas Junction to Mamprusi. 4. Ebri to Ebrim. Ebra to Ebrim. Abuasi to Kenyase Brofiedu. And Wono Sir John to Ahojo to Asonomaso. Thank you very much.
Yes. Now, you see, it's not only the minister who cannot pronounce some of the names well. Minister, you are
Mr. Speaker, my good friend Akwesi, who was correcting me, was sitting right beside my colleague. I thought we would have just whispered to him to correct him instead of allowing him to get here. But Mr. Speaker, that is fine. Mr. Speaker, Fawode Kenyasi Road, background. The Fawode Kenyasi feeder road is a 5.5 kilometer collector road located in the Kwabre East district of the Ashanti region. It is an engineered road in good condition. Current program. The Fawode Kenyasi road has been awarded under the contract titled Bituminous Surfacing of Fawode Kenyasi Road, 5.5 kilometers. The works commenced on the 22nd of January 2020 for completion on 22nd of January 2021. The contractor sealed 1.2 kilometers of the road surface. However, the works stalled due to delay in payment for works done. The contract has since been terminated. The project's physical completion was projected at 62.11%. The Department of Urban Roads is currently executing the contract titled Rehabilitation of Fawode Kenyasi Road in Kwabre East Municipality, 6.5 kilometers, starting from kilometer 1.20 to kilometer 6.5. The project commenced on the 26th of August 2024 for completion on 26th of August 2026. The project is estimated at 70.66% physical completion. The contractor is currently on site and works are progressing. Mampontain, Ahojo, Medoma, Abbas Junction, Mamprusi and Abuakwa Kenyase Brofiedu. The Mampontain Ahojo Road, Medoma Abbas Junction, Mamprusi Road, and then Abuakwa Kenyase Brofiedu Road have been awarded under the contract title Rehabilitation of Selected Roads in Kwabre East Municipality and Afigya Kwabre South District, 42 kilometers. The project commenced on the 1st of March 2023 for completion on 28th of February 2025. All aforementioned roads are at sub-base level. The contractor has requested for an extension of time, which is under consideration. The project is at 67% physical completion, and the contractor is currently on site working. Abirem, background. The Abirem Road is section of the Abire-Antwa-Bonwe Road, which forms an integral part of the regional route 53. The road serves as a strategic link between Ejisu Municipality and Kwabre East Municipality in the Ashanti region. Current program. The Abirem Road has been awarded under the project title Rehabilitation of Abire-Antwa-Bonwe Road, kilometer 0 to 10.35, and critical access road 17.3 kilometers. The works commenced on 28th December 2023 for completion on 27th December 2025. The contractor is on site and works are progressing. The physical progress so far is 42.63%. Wonu Ahunjo Asono Maso background. Wonu Ahunjo Asono Maso Road connects Brunre Abiriem Road at Krobo and traverses Sakura Wonu to Asomanso in the Kwabre East municipality of Ashanti region. The road is a 6.3 kilometer long and in poor condition. Current program. The Wonu Ahunjo Asono Maso Road has been awarded under the project title Rehabilitation of Krobo Sakura Wonu to Asomaso Road 6.3 kilometers and Critical Access Road 7.87 kilometers. The contract was awarded on the 1st of October 2024 and is expected to be completed in 24 calendar months. Contractor is mobilizing to commence works.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
did he also ask you to take supplementary questions as well?
Once I'm standing in his stead, I think it's
okay
instructive that I do that. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Honourable Minister for the detailed answer he's given. Just to say that the Faudi to Kenyasi Road, that has been terminated. The people of Kwabre East want to find out from the Minister what steps he is taking to re-award this contract to a new contractor so that the gains that have been made on the road, because we realize that 62.11% of the road has been completed. And if the contract is terminated, what it means is that then we would allow this road to go bad. So what steps is he taking to re-award the contract to a new person? Thank you.
Very well, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we shall review the current status under the relevant agency and find out, since it appears there are two other contracts going on within the area, we'll review and see if one of them, it will be appropriate to find a way of letting them get on with it if their contracts allow us to do so. So we'll explore that channel as well.
Thank you very much. It is now the turn of the contractor who asked the question for the previous question. Honorable Davis Ansa Opoku, member from Preso. Now you may ask your own question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I seek to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways the status of the Etibie and Chenrasi to Akwesimu roads leading to the paragliding sites. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Tibie, Twenedurase, Akwesiho roads are located in the Kwahu South district of the Eastern region. Current program, the Tibie and Twenedurase, Akwesiho roads have been awarded under the project titled Reconstruction of Atibie Paragliding Road, kilometer 0 to 2.5, and reconstruction of Atibie Paragliding Road, kilometer 2.5 to kilometer 5. Both projects commenced on 18th of December 2019 for completion on the 17th of December 2020. The overall progress for reconstruction of Atibie Paragliding Road, that is kilometer 0 to 2.5, phase 1 is at 55.34%. The overall progress for reconstruction of Atibie Paragliding Road, kilometer 2.5 to 5, phase 2 is 78.79%. Works have stalled due to delay in payment for works done.
Yes. Honorable, any further questions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw the attention of the Minister to the significance of this road. In April, we will be in the Easter festivities, and paragliding brings a lot of money to the state. I mean, this paragliding thing, and we know that Easter, when we say Easter in Ghana, it is Kwahu. People will be trooping into Kwahu to witness Easter and also to have a feel of the paragliding activities that the Ministry of Tourism has initiated. I think it's important that for the first time that we'll be hosting the President of the Republic in Kwahu for these Easter festivities. At least the President would come and appreciate that his roads minister has completed this road. We are just talking about 5 kilometers of road, just 5 kilometers of road. So I'm urging the minister to put in efforts, just 5 kilometers of road, that the efforts that have been put in by previous ministers to get the road to the percentages that he gives us, it sees to the completion of this very road project. Thank you very much.
This is very persuasive, eh? Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, my good friend appeared to be sending an invitation to the President through me for Easter. I'm not sure I'm worthy of carrying that, but I think it's on a lighter note. Yes, Mr. Speaker, by the answers I gave, this project started in 2019 and should have been completed in 2020. So it is quite surprising that all these years we are unable to complete it. He says it's 5 kilometers only. Mr. Speaker, I don't know. Yes, 78% has been done. I don't know what is left, but I know I'll work with my agency heads to see what is left. The only thing is Easter is just 2 months or less away. I don't know how much we can do to complete it before then, but whatever we can do within the circumstances, we shall do. I fully agree with him. Kwahu Easter is maybe the most popular Easter festival here, and we should capitalize on that and make sure that it brings in the necessary attraction that boosts tourism. So I agree with him. We shall work on that as the financial space will agree would improve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to commend the Minister for the assurance and also to give him an open invitation. Come and enjoy Easter in Kwahu. I mean, the baby waking weather, we have the best of baby waking weather. So you can come with your spouse and enjoy Kwahu Easter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Minister, are you responding to the invitation?
I accept this invitation on my own behalf.
Yes. So we turn to question 14. And the question stands in the name of Dr. Kingsley Ajimai, a member for Abuakwa South. Honorable member, the minister is waiting for your question.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I seek to ask the minister plans for the completion of the following stored bitumen surfacing road projects in the Abuakwa South constituency. 1. The Sikem Town Road. 2. Nkwanta Town Road. 3. Asafo Town Road. 4. Asafo Masi Old Tafu Road. And the last one, Chebi Apapam Labi Chrome Road. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Sikem Town Road. Background. The Sikem Town Road is a 4.5 kilometer long road. It is located in the Abuakwa South municipality of Eastern Region. Current program. The Sikem Town Roads have been awarded under the contract title Upgrading of Asafo Masi Road and others, 29.3 kilometers to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on the 25th of September 2024 for completion of 24th March 2026. The progress of works is estimated at 55.7 77% physical completion. The contractor is currently on site and works are ongoing. Nkronso Town Road. The Nkronso Town Road is a 4.4 kilometer long road. It is located in the Abuakwa South municipality of Eastern Region. The Nkronso Town current program. The Nkronso Town Road have been awarded under the contract title Upgrading of Asafo-Mase Road, a 29.3 kilometer road to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on 25th of September 2024 and is scheduled to be completed on 24th March 2026. The progress of works is estimated at 55.77%. The contractor is currently on site and works are ongoing. Asafo Town Road. The Asafo Town Road is a 6.4 kilometer road. It is located in the Abuakwa South municipality of Eastern Region. The Asafo Town roads have been awarded under the current the contract title Upgrading of Asafo-Mase Road and others, 29.3 kilometers, to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on the 25th of September 2024 and scheduled for completion on 24th of March 2026. The progress of work is 55.77 kilometers. Asafo-Mase Old Tafo Road. The Asafo-Mase Old Tafo Feeder Road is a 14-kilometer long road. It is located in the Abuakwa South municipality of Eastern Region. The Asafo-Mase Old Tafo Feeder Road has been awarded under the contract title Upgrading of Asafo-Mase Road and others, 29.3 kilometers, to bituminous surfacing. The works commenced on 25th of September and scheduled for completion in March 2026. The progress of work is similar to the others, 55.77%. Chebi Apapam to Labikrom Road. The Chebi Apapam Labikrom Road is a 14-kilometer road. It is located in the Abuakwa South municipality of Eastern Region. Current program. The Chebi Apapam Labikrom Road, a feeder road, was awarded in two phases. Phase 1, upgrading of Chebi Apapam Labikrom Road, kilometer 0 to 7. Phase 2, upgrading of Chebi Apapam Labikrom Road. Phase 1, contract commenced on 21st of May 2020 and completion date was expected to be 14th of September 2023, which has since elapsed. The progress of work is estimated at 50.77 physical completion. The contractor is currently not on site and works are stalled. An injunction has been placed on the contract due to delay in payment. Phase 2, the contract commenced on 13th of July 2020, expected to have been completed on the 15th of September 2022, which has since elapsed. Progress of work is estimated at 17.77%. The contractor is currently not on site and works have stalled. An injunction has been placed on the contract due to delays in payment for works done.
Yes. Supplementary question, yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. In your response, you did indicate that Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Chebi Apapam Labikrom Road has been injuncted as a result of non-payment. May I respectfully know your plans towards the payment of the contract sums or the sums that has been worked under that particular road? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the payment was not made. I don't know why the payment was not made when it was due. To the extent the contractor, or at least we are told, there's an injunction on the project because of lack of payment. I am not fully briefed on the circumstances surrounding lack of payment. But I can understand that if we pay attention to the urgent question and I answered, it probably would explain why, because it is clearly the case that government does not have enough funds to pay for those works. But since we are told there's an injunction, I don't know the details under which the injunction was sought and granted. So when I get an accurate briefing, I'll work with you to see what matters to you is for the road to be completed, and we'll work together to see how we get it done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you very much for your candid response. As you may be aware, multi-mobility index in Ghana has increased very tremendously. And one of the key factors has to do with upper respiratory disorders. I'm seeking your kind attention that because this has to do with bitumen resurfacing, it means that the top surface of the road has been scratched and there's a lot of dust in the area. I crave your indulgence that please keep a very good eye on these roads for the people of Abuakwa South. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, return to question 15. Question 15. And the question stands in the name of Dr. Abdul Kabiru Tia Mahama, member for Wale Wale. Honorable, you may ask your question now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
to honorable members, please. Yes, Honorable Kabiru, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity to ask the Minister this question and to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the following road projects would be completed. 1. Nasia Janga Road. 2. Nasia Pargu Mimima Road. 3. Wulgu Passenger Road. 4. Gimsi Nayoku Gadbine and Mimima Boayene Road. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Nasia Janga Feeder Road, 25.7 kilometers, is located in the West Mamprusi municipality of Northeast region. Current program. The Nasia Janga Feeder Road has been awarded in 2 phases under the contract titled Nasia Janga Feeder Road, kilometer 0 to 10.5, and Nasia Janga Feeder Road, phase 2, kilometer 10.5 to kilometer 25.90, phase 1. The contract commenced on the 31st of August 2018 for completion on 31st of August 2020, which was later revised to 31st December 2024. The progress of works is estimated at 75 physical completion. The contractor is currently on site and the work is ongoing. Phase 2, the contract commenced on 9th of December 2024 for completion on 8th of June 2026. The progress of work is estimated at 21.7%. The contractor is currently on site and is working. Nasia Parigu Mimima Road. Nasia Mimima Feeder Road is a 34-kilometer long engineered network in the West Mamprusi municipality of Northeast region. The road is F-based in poor condition. Current program. The Nasia Parigu Mimima Feeder Road was awarded on 25th of October 2024 for completion by 25th October 2026. The contractor is mobilizing to commence works. Ulugu Pansekpe Road, Pasekpe, this ends. Pansekpe. Okay. The Ulugu Pansekpe Road is a 35-kilometer long road. It is a regional road route 116 with a gravel surface in poor condition. Current program. The Ulugu Pakwese Road was awarded in 3 phases. 1. Upgrading of Ulugu Wiase Lot 1, kilometer 0 to 13. Upgrading of Ulugu Wiase Lot 2, kilometer 13 to 24. Upgrading of Ulugu Wiase Lot 3, kilometer 24 to 35. Phase 1. The contract commenced on 26th of July 2024 for completion on 26th of July 2026. The progress of works is estimated at 13.43 physical completion. The contractor is currently on site and works are ongoing. Phase 2. The contract commenced on 26th of July 2024 for completion by 26th July 2026. Progress of work is estimated at 18.43%, and the contractor is currently on site and works ongoing. Phase 3. The contract commenced on 26th of July 2024 for completion on 26th of July 2027. The progress of works is estimated at 17.62 physical completion. The contractor is on site and works ongoing. Bimsi to Nayoko Gagbini. Background. Bimsi Nayoko Gagbini is a 5.2 kilometer feeder road in the West Mamprusi municipality of North East region. The road is F-based and is in poor condition. Current program. The road is under feeder road and forms part of the upgrading of Walawale Wungu feeder road, 3.5 kilometers, and others, 25.45 kilometers, total 28.95 kilometers to bituminous surface. The project commencement day is 29th November 2024 for completion on 28th November 2026. The progress of work is estimated at 55% physical completion. The contractor is currently on site and works ongoing. Mimima Buayini. Mimima Buayini is a 5.3 kilometer feeder road in the West Mamprusi municipality of Northeast region. The road is F-surface and in poor condition. Current program. There is no program on this road. Engineering design studies will be carried out by the end of the second quarter of 2025 to assess the appropriate intervention, after which it will be considered under the 2026 budget allocations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Kabiru, any further supplementary question?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the respected Minister for Roads for his diligence in respect of these questions. I'm acutely aware that the Wulugu passenger route has been thoroughly assessed by the Minister after some presentations were made to him, and the possibility of us looking at the various modeling to ensuring that, because that is a regional route and possibly an international route. So I want to thank him, and I also want to thank the Minister for his assurance in respect of the Mimima Buayini route, trying to have expression in the 2026 budget. And the Minister, I will be working closely with you to ensuring that this is done. But the last question I want to put to the Minister, the Nasia Parugu Mimima route, Mr. Speaker, was first awarded in 2018. I believe that arrangement did not work after some work had been done on the route. I want to know whether this has been brought to the attention of the Minister and whether or not this current arrangement we could expedite the process to ensure that the time lost between 2018 and 2024 will have been catered for in the implementation of this program. But that said, I'm also aware that the contractor is a very diligent contractor and he will do a good work if given the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my colleague, and then I would review the additional information is provided with the agency head to make sure the interventions capture exactly what he's talking about. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. We take question 16. Question 16, I think, is the second bite of Honorable Davis and San Opoku and Praeso.
Ula. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I seek to add the Minister for Roads and Highways, the plan of the government to construct the Adoso to New Jerusalem Road leading to Begoro in the eastern region of Ghana.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you once again for the opportunity. Background. The Adoso New Jerusalem Road forms part of the inter-regional route IR3, which starts from Otekpolu and traverses along the Volta Lake through major towns such as Asesewa, Aboso, Dedeso, Mpai, New Jerusalem, Adoso, and continues to Kwahu, Tafo, and beyond, all in the eastern region. The road connects the regional route R32 at Aboso, which leads to Begoro, the capital of the Abuakwa North district in the eastern region. There is no program on this road currently. Future program. The engineering studies will be carried out by the end of the second quarter of 2025 to assess the appropriate interventions, after which consideration will be made in the 2026 budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable
Mr. Speaker, on the 14th of February, in this very house, we approved a loan facility amounting to about 350 million for the Afram Plains Road. And a part of it connects to these roads that I've mentioned. So I'm surprised that the minister says that...
Is it 14th of February this year?
No, of 2022.
2022?
Yes, yes. So I'm surprised that the minister, please, keep quiet and listen. Especially, keep quiet and listen. I'm surprised that the minister says that there's no program on the road, because I know that this contract was awarded to Contractor Construction UK Limited for an amount of about 150 million euros. And to construct from Bunsu leading to Adoso. And all these roads that we have mentioned is captured in it. So if you say there's no program, are you able to tell us what that means? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague is very right. That was the Parliament before this one. We approved a significant amount of money for not only the roads, but some bridges. But my colleague is aware. Fully aware that by... Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Finally.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, finally, to thank the minister and also to hold him to his assurance, because this road, when constructed, can end the importation of onions into our country. I mean, all these roads are along the Volta River, the Afram River, and because of the lack of good roads, farmers come and take advantage of market people come and take advantage of farmers, and sometimes the produce go bad. And so when constructed, the over $100 million worth of onions that we import into this country from neighboring countries, those monies can stay in our country and help. So I thank him for the assurance, and I'm praying that the 2026 budget, when read, we'll see from Bunsu, Adosu to Afram Plains.
Thank you very much.
Well captured.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my colleague, and my assurance had a preamble or caveat that when our finances get better, we are all praying that by 2026 the finances will get better. And yes, I agree with him. These are the kinds of roads we need to prioritize, because they unlock a lot more than just roads. It actually unlocks our agricultural potential. So I agree with him. We need to work to bring it to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now we take the final question. Final question from Honorable Abuakwa South, a member for Manso Nkwanta. Manso Nkwanta. And he has not also mandated anybody to do that on his behalf. So we will. Are you doing that? Okay, let me give you the floor to do that on his behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the question on behalf of the Honourable Member for Manso Nkwanta, Mr. Abuakwa South, to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways the measures the ministry is implementing to address the road infrastructure problem in the Manso Nkwanta constituency. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Background. Manso Nkwanta is the district capital of Amansie West in the Ashanti region. Current program. The Department of Feeder Roads is undertaking 4 major projects in the district. A. Bituminous surfacing of Manso Kensere Watreso Feeder Road, kilometer 0 to kilometer 10. B. Upgrading of Kumpasi to Tontochrome Feeder Road, 17.65 kilometers to bituminous surface. C. Upgrading of Pechi number 2, Antuachrome Feeder Road, kilometer 0 to kilometer 1.40, bituminous surfacing of Pechi number 1, Pechi number 2, 1.40 kilometers feeder road, and critical accesses 1.8 kilometers, total 4.60. D. Upgrading of Pechi number 2, Antuachrome feeder road, 21.30 Trede, Pechi number 2, link 2.4, and then critical accesses 0.95 kilometers, total 24.65 kilometers. A. Bituminous surfacing of Manso Kensere Watreso feeder road. Current program. The Manso Kensere Watreso road has been awarded under the project title Bituminous surfacing of Manso Kensere Watreso feeder road. The works commenced on 30th of June 2020 for completion on 28th of December 2023. The progress of work is estimated at 53.55 physical completion. Work stalled due to delay in payment for works done. Upgrading of Kumpase Kumpese to Totro Chrome Feeder Road. Current program. C. No, okay, the second to the last, number C. The contractor commenced work on the 28th of December 2023 for completion on 27th of December 2025. Progress of works is 5.5% physical completion. The contractor has suspended works. The last one, which is the D, the rehabilitation of Abuakwa South Mim Junction Road, 26.4 kilometers. This contract was awarded on the 1st of October 2024. The progress of works is estimated at 9.3 to physical completion. The contractor is currently on site and works ongoing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, I believe what I observe in the 8th Parliament, we are not going to observe the same thing. In the 8th Parliament, most of the questions came and emanated from the minority. I believe this time around the majority will also ask questions. Today, 11 questions Today, you cannot come under point of order when the speaker is speaking. Today, 11 questions plus one agent question, 12 questions, all of them mandated from the minority. Yes, the agent question from the majority. Yes, that's right. So, please, members, we are all entitled to ask questions. That's the way our constituent can even assess us. So, Honorable Minister, on behalf of the House, let me thank you. I mean, members can see that you candidly responded to the questions, and we urge other ministers to also do the same. We are grateful to you, and you are hereby discharged. Honorable members, before we go back to item 6 in today's order paper, let me create the indulgence of the House to acknowledge our children who have come all the way from Bono region. Is that not the case? From Yamuransa Model Labs. Yamuransa Model Labs. And yes, they are being led by Jonathan Amponsim, who is the senior project associate, and they are coming from Doma West constituency. Doma West constituency. And I guess the member is here, Vincent. Yes. Yes. I hope you take care of them.
Mr. Speaker, with your support, I'll take care of them.
Very well. Very well. Yes. We thank you for coming all the way from is it Sampa area?
Honorable Speaker, they are from, we have so many labs. My lab is lab 12. We have lab 1, lab 2, in all the regions of the country. And we have Liberians and even Gambians. Oh. And it's an annual event. It is robotics. They do robotics competition and whole other things.
Very well.
And it's funded. I'm the promoter. We have promoters around. I know Honorable Elizabeth Ejari is a promoter for Bono East. I'm for Bono. There's another one for, it's all over the country.
Very well.
So this is an annual event.
Oh, very well. Thank you very much. Yes, Chief Whip.
Thank you very much. Speaker, I have my 2 schools from Southern actually. And we participated annually. And this year we came second. And so, let me see you. Yes. So, like my brother, Honorable Vincent Opon said, it's a national event. And Speaker, I think this House should take cognizance of this program. Because, yes, I can make preliminary comments on the matter. And it produces young scientists. And this is how nations grow. This is how you create people who manufacture their creativity. So this House will pay attention to this program. And then we need to encourage the agencies to sponsor it. They'll go to places, they'll go to the Silicon Valley and do wonders.
Then ask Honorable Yabuama to sponsor.
Yes, yeah, Honorable Yabuama, you and I, we must co-sponsor next year's program and ferry them to Silicon Valley in California. I thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
To all of
you
them.
are welcome, and I hope you monitor what is going on in the chamber, and that will motivate you for your future career. I wouldn't ask you to become a politician like us, but for your future career. Yes, can I also hear you?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm happy to also announce to you that Lab 7, Yamranza Lab 7, they are from Biakunye constituency, and they came first. They were first last year, and this year too, they came first. So, Lab 7, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much. So you are welcome once again. Yes, honorable members, let's welcome the leader of the house to give us the activity for the ensuing 8 week. Leader, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, your committee, the Business Committee, met today, Friday, 28 February 2025, to arrange the business for the 8 week ending Friday, 7 March 2025. We could not meet yesterday for obvious reasons. The President was here to deliver the State of the Nation address. The Speaker, as is the tradition, we arranged that next week there may be formal communications from the Right Honorable Speaker. 23 questions have been programmed for next week. 6 to the Minister for Energy and Green Transitions. 4 to the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. 3 to the Minister for Education. 5 to the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. And 5 to the Minister for Roads and Highways. 2 are urgent, 21 are oral. Pursuant to Order 91-2, statements may be made by ministers and honorable members. Papers and reports may be laid. Motions and resolutions and consequential resolutions may be made, debated, and taken. And Mr. Speaker, if you recall, you directed that the Minister for Energy and Green Transition should appear before the House to brief us on measures being taken towards the gradual transition of the country to the use of clean and renewable energy. So the Minister has been scheduled for Tuesday, 4th of March 2025. For that purpose, we urge the Minister to avail himself so that we'll be briefed. Thursday, 6th March 2025 is the Independence Day and is a public holiday and will be observed as such, as a statutory holiday, so this House will not be sitting. So, Speaker, the major business for next week will be the debate on the message on the state of the nation. So, Speaker, a motion to thank His Excellency the President for the message on the state of the nation will be moved on Tuesday, 4th of March 2025. Honourable members are therefore urged to participate actively in the debate. The time allocation is as follows: that the majority leader and minority leaders will have 40 minutes. Other 40 minutes, 40. Other leaders will have 20 minutes. Leadership of committees will have 15, and honourable members will have 10 minutes. Mr. Speaker, the committee considered the issue of the number of members to be recognized from each side of the House to contribute to the debate each day, but could not reach a consensus. The minority held the view that in line with existing practice and convention, the number of contributors to the debate should be equal for both sides. That is 5 members for the majority and 5 members from the minority for each day. The majority, on the other hand, argued that in view of the present composition of the House and the high number of members of the majority caucus as opposed to the minority, equal allotment will disadvantage members of the majority caucus. The majority caucus accordingly proposed that the allotment of opportunities for debate on the message should be based on the proportional composition of the House. They accordingly proposed a ratio of 68 to 32 to represent the different sizes of the caucuses in the House. Having regard to the inability of the committee to reach a consensus on the matter and in accordance with Order 2842 of Standing Orders, the question was put, and the majority of 7 members voted in favor of a proportional allotment of opportunity for debate. The minority, however, gave indications that they were not part of the decision and accordingly do not recognize the vote. The committee accordingly submits the matter for the consideration of the House. The sitting time is 10 a.m. starting Tuesday, 4th of March, and the time may be extended depending on the schedule of the day. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Order 216(2) and subject to Order 67, the committee submits to the House the order of business for the consideration and adoption by the House. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the business statement for the ensuing 8th week has been read to us by the Leader of the House. It is now before the House for consideration. So, if any member has concerns, there is a time. As it stands now, I can only see the minority shape.
All right. Mr. Speaker, I think I will start and my colleagues will come.
You want to start and your colleagues will come?
Yes.
Then
Mr.
why
Speaker,
don't you allow your colleagues to come, then you take the final lap?
Mr. Speaker, I have concerns. Let me raise my concerns.
What I'm saying is, normally, per our practice, fine. Per our practice, normally when the leader of the house of the caucus speaks, we don't normally go back. So if you allow the members to speak, then you give the final. Or if you want to change it, that's
Mr. Speaker, in the case of business statement, there are so many matters. So any member can speak to any matter, and I think it has been the guidance of the House. Mr. Speaker,
let's hear you.
Mr. Speaker, listening to the Leader of the House and the Majority Leader on page 2 with item 5, debates on the message of the State of the Nation. Mr. Speaker, I don't know where this is coming from, to the effect that we are going to debate on the message of the State of the Nation based on proportions. This is alien to the House. It has never been practiced from our 4th Republic, from the 1st Parliament, the 2nd Parliament, the 3rd Parliament, up to the 9th Parliament. We have never set proportions in this House as basis for debates, Mr. Speaker. So when the Majority Leader was saying that they even took a decision in terms of voting, that is actually not the procedure. He is a senior man of this House, and he knows. Even the 7th Parliament, when the MPP had a majority of 169 and the NDC was 106, we never used proportion in terms of debate. It has never happened. So why is it that at the moment we are going to say that to debate on the State of the Nation, you are going to use a proportion and you brought your own proportion? Mr. Speaker, in any case, what are you afraid of? If 5 of you speak and 5 from this side speak, what are you afraid of? Because you believe that the message that the President presented is the State of the Nation. So, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect to the Leader of the House, I think this part of the business statement should be expunged from the record because it's alien to the rules. And if you come and look our standing orders, if you check Order 115, it tells you Order 115, Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I'll just read Order 115, where it talks about time and manner of speaking. Order 115 says that, subject to the discretion of the Speaker on Order 169(3)(b), a member who intends to speak shall rise in the member's place and address the chair while standing only at the catching the eye of the Speaker. There is nowhere in our standing orders which will tell you that you should use proportions when you are going to speak on the floor of the House. And we should not entertain this because we will be setting a very bad precedent we'll be setting a bad precedent. And we on this side, we will not be part of this. We will not be part of it, and we will not entertain this, because it has never happened. And we will not allow you to set a wrong precedent to us. So it's wrong, and Mr. Speaker, we will definitely not be in agreement with any proportion. If we are to debate on the message of the state of the nation, if 5 on this side is speaking, 5 on the other side will speak, there is nothing to be afraid of. You don't need to say you are going to use proportion. We will all speak and we will all debate the message the president speaks, but we will not use any proportion to be able to do that. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I think we all came to Parliament for the same purpose, both majority and minority members. We in the majority have observed that there's one function in Parliament that most of us are not getting the opportunity to play, that is to deliberate in this House. Whether it was a previous practice or something we are introducing, we have to look at the merit. If you are going to do a proportional participation in this Parliament, it would disadvantage some of us in the majority. Simple, yes. But our duty, no, listen, Mr. Speaker, our duty here is for all of us to comment, and participate in every activity, any deliberation in this House. All of us are supposed to contribute, whether you are majority or minority. We shouldn't use partisanship to limit anybody from participating on the floor of Parliament. We shouldn't use it. It's because any statement you make in this House, I have the equal right with anybody there to participate. So if you are using partisanship to allow participation, it will disadvantage anybody who is in the majority side. For example, let's consider that one day the minority are only 10 members. Let's consider it. Tomorrow, the minority, you are only 10 members. How are the rest going to participate on the floor of the House? For instance, you know we are assessed as members of Parliament to get our chance to return. There are NGOs assessing our participation in Parliament. There are NGOs that will come with who are those who are speaking on the floor and who are those who are not speaking. I want to speak, but you are saying my party have 2 chances to speak, the other party has 2 chances to speak. Meanwhile, our number here is twice your number. Yes. You would have 10 times the opportunity to participate. Yes. But my party, even if they are allowing everybody to speak, I will only have 1 chance to speak. So when they are assessing parliamentarians, I'll be poorly assessed. But it is because of that. Just like your members have the right to comment on the President's State of the Nation address, I also have the chance, I also have the privilege and the right to participate. So we are going to do it proportional in every debate. In every debate, we must be 4:1.
Thank you very much.
We must not have equal opportunities as parties.
Thank you.
We must have equal opportunities as representatives of our people.
Thank you.
And that is the way we must participate in this House.
Honorable member, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think we are by this going to introduce some unfairness and a novelty unknown to the practice of this House. Mr. Speaker, it's very important. The MPP has had 169 members of Parliament before. We've never on any occasion advocated for this. In any event, Mr. Speaker, if you look at...
Honorable members, please, let's listen to him. I'll also give you the floor to also speak. Please, let's hear him. Other than that, we wouldn't hear anything.
Mr. Speaker, what are we running away from? Paragraph 5 of the business statement is just a debate on the President's address to the House to thank him. Why are we rationing members of Parliament
and deciding on the number of people to speak. What are we running away from? Debate? Majority running away from debate? Come on, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Speaker of Parliament chairs the Committee on Selection. Committee on Selection only uses ratio in the apportioning of members on committees. That's all. This is a chamber for debate. This is the chamber for debate. And for the majority to go to a business committee meeting to propose this is unfair. It's alien to the House. We've never seen this before. And it must not be entertained, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Ted Abi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think that if we allow this to go, it will disadvantage the majority seriously. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is not for nothing that our standing orders gives equity to members on committees. Why? Yes. It is because of equity insofar as participation is concerned. What it means is that if we allot 2 hours for debate, what it means is that 183 or 187 will have 1 hour divided by 183. And then 80 divided by whatever. What are you talking about? Mr. Speaker, it will be unfair. And seriously, it doesn't give equal opportunity. And as my other colleague said, others are looking at people who speak. They are assessing members of parliament based on the opportunity to talk. So if the probability is higher on your side, what is going to happen is that they will think that our people, like Mr. Speaker, it is for this reason that the former Minister of Information had the guts to go and say that members from our side are not speaking because, Mr. Speaker, that is the reason. That is the reason, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I think that for the sake of equity, we need to go by the proportion so that everybody would have opportunity to speak, be it on at the committee or on the floor of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I think it's just fair. It is just fair. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have 2 points to make. One on this proposal for proportionality, and then one on something else which I believe should be programmed in the business statement for next week. First, Mr. Speaker, is this question of proportionality. For the purposes of debate, that is why next week we have an opportunity, I think about 4 days or 5 days or so, to debate. What is a debate? To exchange contrasting views on what His Excellency the President has presented. Is there anybody on the majority side who is going to say he disagrees with the President? No. What is going to happen, Mr. Speaker? What is going to happen, Mr. Speaker, is that in this debate, the contrasting views that you will get from this side. And that is why the convention has been over the years, from the first Parliament, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, that when one person speaks on the other side, ostensibly to repeat what the President has said, you will get a contrasting view from another person from this side. So, Mr. Speaker, we should not fall for this temptation that we are now coming to do some proportional representation when it comes to the debate on the state of the nation. The convention has always been that one from this side, one from this side. To our brother at the back who is laboring to answer the question, what formula should be used? The standing orders have prescribed the formula that should be used, Order 1151. It doesn't lie in the mouth of any caucus to make a determination on numbers. Actually, the rules say that it is the Speaker who examines the chamber and selects who should be speaking. And the convention has been that you catch the Speaker's eye and the Speaker selects one from this side, one from this side. So, Mr. Speaker, we should not get into this new proposal that is being given us, that we should now select 2 or 3 from one side before we select. We will not hear any contrasting views if we go that way. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the business statement for the week ahead of us, you would imagine that any other matter that is a precursor to the budget, leader, should be executed next week before the budget is brought. there are about 3 policy documents that the government benches have advertised to the whole country, which are relevant to the budget. If you look at your manifesto, I have a copy here. You have what you call the Economic Recovery Program, you have the Economic Transformation Agenda, and then you have your 24-hour economy policy. Mr. Speaker, the budget that we are going to receive on the 11th is based on these documents. None of these documents has been brought to this House. In previous times, documents like the Ghana Beyond Aid policy, etc., they will be brought to this House. I think that what the government benches should consider, including in this business statement, is bringing to this House the 24-hour economy policy, the Economic Recovery Program, and the Economic Transformation Agenda, so that Parliament can have an opportunity to see it, make input into it, query it, before the budget itself is brought. And I want to urge on the Leader of Government Business that they should consider including this before the budget itself is brought. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, Order 216 of our standing orders clearly has given the mandate to the Business Committee to determine the order in which business is conducted in this House. Under the same order, the time allotted for debate is also determined by the same Business Committee. Parliament is a house of representation. We are representing our individual constituencies. And so when it comes to deliberations in the House, it is important that time allotted and opportunities given reflects the manner of representation. That is why the framers of the Constitution, in their own wisdom, decided that in determining composition of committees, which is critical to the performance of our duties as a legislative body, it is determined by representation in the House. That is why the ratio is used. So it is only proper that we have this determination done in such a way that because we have the majority and the numbers are so huge that we are more than twice the number of the minority, in the debate of the State of the Nation, it is proper that we are giving more slots than the minority is given to debate. So, Mr. Speaker, we support not just the debate, all other proceedings. Mr. Speaker, we in the majority stand firmly behind the majority leader in proposing that in the debate of the State of the Nation's address, the majority be given more time or more slots than the minority. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful for the opportunity to contribute to this debate. Mr. Speaker, the leader of this House, the distinguished Member of Parliament for Boku Central, is a man who is well versed with the standing orders of this House. And Mr. Speaker, when he spoke, ordinarily he would have made reference to the part of the standing orders that gives the business committee the powers to allocate the number of people who will be contributing to the debates. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and other extant laws of the Republic do not also give any such powers to any committee like that. Mr. Speaker, the closest we have is Order 216, which has been made reference to by my very good friend, Adam, Honorable Adam. Now, that order is short of also making a pronouncement as to the number of people who will be debating from each side of the aisle. Mr. Speaker, this is not the first parliament of this republic. We have heard this is the 9th parliament. And Mr. Speaker, I make specific reference to the 2nd parliament of this republic, 1996, where the NDC had 132 seats, the MPP 66, and I believe there were 2 independent members. I stand corrected, Mr. Speaker.
Even under those circumstances, there were no such proportional representation as far as debates are concerned. So, Mr. Speaker, it's very strange that the President has delivered his message on the state of the nation on behalf of the majority, or Ghanaians generally. And Mr. Speaker, that is a statement which they all believe and imbibe in. We disagree to some extent to some of the things that the President has said. And so we deserve every opportunity to impeach what the President has said. And we should be able to do so. We should be given enough room. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, ordinarily, the proportion should even favor the minority than the majority. This is not committee. This is not some international representation or trips abroad. This is debate. It is not the number of people who debate, but the quality of the debates. So, Mr. Speaker, I can challenge you. We can debate you on any day. Even if you make it 10-1, we'll beat you on the debate floor. Mr. Speaker, in this hallowed chamber, we are ready for you, but we are not ready for you to trample upon our rights. We will debate with you as has been done previously, and we will do so equitably, and we will do so in accordance with our standing orders and the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable James Agaga.
Mr. Speaker, the arguments made by our colleagues from the other side suggests that when the motion is moved, all those who rise and catch Mr. Speaker's eye from this side of the House will necessarily speak in favor of the motion. Mr. Speaker, this is an erroneous assumption. In fact, it is a presumption which is rebuttable. We are in a democracy. Mr. Speaker, we are in a democracy.
Is it rebuttable, under Ghanaian circumstances?
The assumption, it is rebuttable.
If it is Europe, America, I can see that. But in Ghana's circumstance, is it rebuttable? Honorable James,
Mr. Speaker,
I'm saying under Ghanaian circumstance, the way we see our discussion,
Mr. Speaker,
is it rebuttable?
Mr. Speaker, without attempting to draw you into the debate, I can say you are a classical example of the rebuttal of that presumption. You came close to rebutting the presumption some time ago when you stood firm and bold in taking certain decisions. At the end of the day, Mr. Speaker was hailed by all for being courageous. Mr. Speaker, we must encourage members to take dissenting views, hold dissenting views and express them, regardless of which side of the aisle you belong to. It should be possible for my good friend Honorable Tampule to speak in favor of the motion which would be moved on Tuesday. In the same measure, it should be possible for my leader Roxanne Nelson Dafia Mokpo to speak against the motion. So, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, let us be guided by what the standing order says, and it is very clear.
What does it say?
Standing Order 2162 says, and with your kind permission, let me read. Subject to Order 67, the committee shall A, propose the business of each sitting and the order in which the business is taken. That's all, it's clear. Now, the business committee, Mr. Speaker, the business committee has clearly determined the order upon which the debate on the motion will be taken.
The committee's determination is that we go by the proportion of 68 is to 32. And this is representative of the numbers in this House. Mr. Speaker, the fact that one side won by an overwhelming majority does not mean that our majority status should work to our disadvantage. Which is why we are saying let us adopt a proportion which reflects the numbers in the House so that members would have the opportunity to participate in the debate regardless of which side of the House what they belong to. The fact that I belong to the majority does not mean that I should be limited or restrained because I was voted for by the overwhelming majority of the people and I sit to the right hand of Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, let's do the right thing. Democracy is about majoritarian rule. The majority must have every opportunity to participate effectively in this debate. Mr. Speaker, given the numbers on this side of the House, if you limit us, you'd be denying 184 constituencies equal opportunity to be heard. Why would 88 members of the House have equal opportunity to speak? Equal opportunity, 50-50. This would be unfair. It will be unfair and unequitable. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we should go by what the committee has determined for us and do justice.
Yes, Honorable Sevenamua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the same standing order 216 2A. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I read. Propose the business of each sitting and the order in which the business is taken, except that the House may determine which matters may properly be introduced in the House at any time. Mr. Speaker, I think this extract is so clear without any ambiguity. Unless somebody wants to undermine the very law that has conferred on us the power that we want to abuse in this House. It is so clear that the business committee, they will make the proposal or the propositions, but it is the House that will determine which matter should be actually dealt with and the adverb properly. So it doesn't lie within the jurisdiction of the business committee to impose on us anything which is unlawful. I think we've come too far to accept any imposition of one party's interest. We are here, at least understand that the Constitution, the standing orders or conventions are the very tools that actually guide us in this House. Looking at 1996, we had different numbers in terms of ratios, and we could not use that as a yardstick to make the decisions, Mr. Speaker, they want to make today. I'm advising my brothers from the other side that we want to live in peace. We want to adhere to the democratic principles that have brought us this far, and that has earned Ghana the reputation we have on the continent of Africa. If they think they want to abuse their number and by doing that impose on us their interest, we will not allow that. We will resist any form of imposition, any form of intimidation, any form of threat that will undermine the very democracy and the Constitution that is leading us. So, Mr. Speaker, all that I'm saying is that we will not sit down and allow anything that will be done in law. They say mela fide, in bad faith. I think the good people of this country voted for us to position ourselves in a way that they will learn from us. The students were here, the media, they are here. Now, because of your numbers, are we practicing autocracy or democracy? Are we practicing military rule or we are practicing democracy? Please, respectfully, we want to work together in harmony.
We want to harmonize the interests of every Ghanaian. Equality, as the Constitution says, Article 17, must be respected. We cannot decide anyhow because we have power. We cannot decide anyhow because we think we are yielding power that Ghanaians have given us to distort and destroy the beautiful democracy we have. Don't let anybody think our numbers, they'll intimidate us. Don't let anybody think because we have these small numbers, they'll behave in a way that we will succumb to their threat. We will not be controlled by cowardice. Mr. Speaker, I'll end by this. The very Bible that we read, God has assured us and given us. God did not create us with the spirit of timidity nor fear, but that of boldness and courage. Do not be afraid, my people. Do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you. And we will stand on the authority of God and the democracy and the Constitution and the standing orders and live up to expectation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much.
Honorable members, please. If I continue to listen to almost everybody who speak to it, and it appears the same thing. Anybody who speaks from the right will speak to the same point, and as well as my group from the left will also speak to the same point. So let me listen to leadership, and I'll have my own conclusion about it. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, this morning, because I had some other engagement outside of the precincts of Parliament, the Chief Whip on our side stood in for the caucus at the usual business committee meeting. He has fully briefed me of what transpired. Well, regrettably, the majority leader did not give me a heads up on the intention of the majority on this very matter. But that is to be expected. We are in a political enterprise. Sometimes it is normal to hide some of your cards. So, though it's a surprise, but it's normal to me. It's okay. Mr. Speaker, let me make some few references, and I will leave the matter to our good conscience, to posterity, and for all to think through. Mr. Speaker, when I was a majority leader, and at a point close to elections and after elections, were to take some decisions in this House, the minority then resisted, and through the resistance, they referred me to the Hansard of 2016 after the election, where my predecessor, the respected Chairman Sabonsu, had made some strong arguments about the transition and the fact that they had lost elections, certain decisions were to be placed on ice. And they were fortified by that to say that government business could not continue. I've listened to the forceful argument by Honorable Edem Agbana. I've also heard my own friend, the Honorable James Agaga, talking about the majoritarian rule. Fortunately, everything said today will be part of the Hansard of this House. The practice, as I've known it to be, is that in this House, although we come here, majority, minority, when it comes to debates, there is equal share. Since 1997, when the first opposition party was in this House, we had a 61 plus 6 smaller parties making the minority 67, with overwhelming majority being the NDC with 133. The Speaker, D.F. Annan of blessed memory, the records would bear me out, that in all debates, you pick one from the right, you pick one from the left. The practice continued under Alajete, and then eventually under Okwe, where the MPP had overwhelming numbers in this house. The very first in the history of our politics, MPP had 169. Mr. Speaker, the practice did not change. With 169, the debate was still shared equally. And I do recall that even committee sittings, committee sharing, some consensus was built and some concessions had to be made by the majority to accommodate some more numbers for the minority. Mr. Speaker, delegation to sub-regional parliament and all, we all had some understanding of the way to go. Well, I am not going to challenge the majority on this. I will not. Because as Ngugi wa Thiong'o wrote in Weep Not Child, weep not child, weep not my darling. With these cases, let me remove your tears. The ravening clouds shall not long be victorious, they shall not long possess the skies. If today you are of the view that in this debating chamber they should call 7 of you and call only 3 because you have the rule, I will not debate or let us break shoulders over this matter, because I know that in as long as there is life, even if I am dead and gone, and this democracy that we have all established is in force, the MPP will someday come into power. Be it 4 years, 8 years, 50 years, 100 years, NPP will someday come. And the records of this house, will be the guiding rule. So, Mr. Speaker, I would strongly urge upon the majority leader that some of these new presidents that they are introducing, they must be measured in the way they are introducing these presidents. Because we are watching, we are taking notes, and a day may come that references will be made. I have tasted that bitter pill when you referred me to some of the actions of the then opposition leader in this house in 2016, and you said that is the basis for you even preventing Supreme Court nominees from being considered on the House floor, to the extent that the minority chief whip, as it then was, Honorable Kwame Govins Agboja, threatened that should I make an attempt to lay the report, there will be chaos. We retreated. We listened to them. We said it's okay. After all, in a democracy, you can't get everything. So we'll let it go. Mr. Speaker, without more, I will take my seat and leave the matter to you.
Thank you. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have listened carefully to colleagues in the chamber, and I think, in a sense, there's been an attempt to question the mandate of the business committee to engage in a determination that the time allotted for debate should be proportional to our numbers in the chamber. Mr. Speaker, let's look at Order 216-2B. Order 216-2B. 216-2B says that, subject to Order 67, the committee shall recommend the time allotted for debate on bills. The time allotted for debates on bills, motions, private members' bills, private members' motions, and other business. Here we are discussing a motion to thank the President for coming to this House to deliver a message on the state of the nation. So it is part of the mandate of the Business Committee to recommend the allotment of time. Mr. Speaker, let's break it down to what is in issue. What is in issue is that the Business Committee proposed that we have 5 slots, 10 slots per day, and the 10 slots, and the debate will last 4 days. So in effect, Mr. Speaker, we are looking at 40 slots in all for the debate. Okay? 40 slots in all for the debate. And we have allotted the specific time that each speaker may speak. The allotment to leadership, the allotment to chairs, and the allotment to ordinary members. Mr. Speaker, according to what my friends on the other side are proposing, we should allot 20 slots and the time allocated for those slots to their side, and also allot 20 slots and the time allocated for those 20 slots to our side. Mr. Speaker, what that means is that their side, with 88 members, will individually have a higher allocation of allotted time than this side that has 188 members. So, Mr. Speaker, what we are saying is that it is inequitable to have 188 members who constitute 68% of the House take 20 slots, and then you have 88 who are 32% of the House also taking 20 slots. It's just inequitable. It is inequitable, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what that means is that members of this side get more opportunity, more airtime, more opportunity than members on this side. Mr. Speaker, like an ordinary member, a member indicated earlier on, because of this, the public watching us often come to a conclusion that we with 188 members are being overshadowed by those who are only 88. And that is because the allocation of time. Because if you give them 88 people 20 hours and give 188 people 20 hours, definitely the 88 people with 20 hours will end up outshining the 188. So it is only fair that we allot the time on the basis of our numbers in the chamber. So, Mr. Speaker, it is only equitable. I have also heard colleagues try to argue that Order 115 governs the allocation of time or the determination of who speaks. Mr. Speaker, let's read Order 115. Order 115, and with your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, I read. It says that subject to the discretion of the Speaker and Order 1693B, a member who intends to speak shall rise in the member's place and address the chair while standing only and catching the eye of the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this has nothing to do with the allotment of time. This has nothing to do with the allotment of the number of speakers determined for each side. Mr. Speaker, it has always been the practice of this House that conclude by saying that whatever it is, let's be fair. We have a lot of new members on this side, and we also have new members on this side. When we restrict the allocations the way that you are proposing, what it will happen invariably is that it means that a member on your side gets 2 opportunities when a member on this side gets only 1. And that's not fair. That's not fair. A member on your side gets 2 opportunities when a member on this side gets only 1 opportunity. That's not fair. Mr. Speaker, let me get to the subject matter. A debate on the state of the nation presented by the President. There are 2 sides. There's a side that will be seeking to disprove what the President has said, and there's a side that will be seeking to confirm what the President has said. Mr. Speaker, let me indicate that we on this side stand by our position that when it comes to government business and we are allotting time, let's allot it equitably so that we have, based on our numbers, a greater allocation of time than your side. And that is why during the committee meeting, we had our disagreements, and when according to the procedure spelled out in our standing orders, we put it to a vote. And 7 votes in favor of that proposed allocation of time, and then 4 on your side decided not to participate in the vote and asked that the record should indicate that they protested and they disagreed with the decision. But 7 of us voted in favor of the position that you have 68, that we have 68% of the time, and that you have 32% of the time, reflecting the different sizes of the parties in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, like you said, it is not the amount of time, it is the quality of the debate. If you believe that it is the quality of the debate, then why are you worried about how much time we are taking? Why are you worried about how much time we are taking? We are worried about time. You say you are more interested in the quality. So within your short time frame, make sure that your debate is highly qualitative and leave us to decide what we do with our time. So, Mr. Speaker, that was the position that was taken. But I forgot to add one thing because those who wrote the report omitted it, and members of the committee will confirm that. We also decided at the committee meeting that next week, Wednesday, we will invite the governor of the Bank of Ghana as an independent constitutional body to come to this House and brief us on the pricing of the new Bank of Ghana head office building, how the price variations took place, what the quantities were, and the justification for the construction of the new Bank of Ghana headquarters. And so this is programmed for next week, that this House is inviting the governor of the Bank of Ghana to come and brief us on the pricing of the Bank of Ghana head office building. And so I urge members on Wednesday to show up so that we will hear from the governor on the pricing of the Bank of Ghana head office. I also take on board the proposal that we should consider having the relevant sector ministers to present policy proposals on major policies that this government has pronounced. I think that it would be a good idea for the relevant sector ministers to come and present the policy documents to us, but the issue is timing, whether it should be before the budget or it should be after the budget. I will convey the message to them. It's a good proposal. I will convey the message to them and see whether they are prepared to come before us with those policy documents before the finance minister appears, or they will incorporate it in the budget so that the finance minister will make those policy pronouncements and then proceed to present a budgetary allocation to implement those policies. The invitation of the governor is on Wednesday, and it will be at the sitting of the committee of the whole, and it has been provided for in the draft document that we had. But when they went to print the final document, I did not see it. So, Mr. Speaker, I think those are the issues, and that is how we have programmed next week. And so, Mr. Speaker, I urge the House to adopt the program for next week as presented by the chairman of the Business Committee. Thank you.
Honorable members,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to invite you to the Constitution. I want to invite you into the Constitution in Article 104. And with your permission, I read. Mr. Speaker, except as otherwise provided in the Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of majority of members present and voting, with at least half of members of Parliament present. Mr. Speaker, on page 2 of the business statement, the conclusion part, it reads that the minority, however, gave the indication that they were not part of the decision and accordingly do not recognize the vote. The committee recommend the committee accordingly submit the matter for the consideration of the House. The consideration of the House implies we need a decision quorum, which is 138. I invite you, we cannot take that decision at the moment. We don't have 138 members in this chamber, and we cannot take a decision because the committee recommend for the House to adopt it. And I invite you that, Mr. Speaker, we can approve the business statement and stand down this very matter because it is for the consideration of the House. And in Article 104, we don't have 138 members present to take that decision. Mr. Speaker, I so invite you. Thank you.
Well, honorable members, I think this issue, you wouldn't allow. Yes, will you let me hear you?
Speaker, I have listened to the Honorable Second Deputy Minority, First Deputy Minority Chief Whip. He has read the Constitution to you. He has not conveyed anything other than that to you. The invitation has not been done. Mr. Speaker, he has not told this House how many we are. He hasn't. I have counted. He has not told the House how many we are. If we are not 138, how many are we? So Speaker, it is inaccurate
for him to suggest to you and to the House that we are not 138, for we are, and we are more than. For we are, and we are more than. So he cannot merely and whimsically say that we are less than 138 and that is it. He has not backed it with any evidence, i.e., having done the head count personally as a whip and showed the evidence. Me, I have. And we are more than 138. So, Mr. Speaker, I will invite you to disregard his submissions as if same was never done at all, and put the question, Mr. Speaker, so we can deal with this matter. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, in raising the constitutional matter, Mr. Speaker, in raising the constitutional matter, I made it clear that we are not 138, Mr. Speaker. When inviting you to the constitutional provisions, I told you that we are not 138. On this side, they are 40. On this side, they are 28. On this side, they are 17. We are less than 100, Mr. Speaker. We are not 138. So for that matter, I invite you to stand on the matter because we don't have a decision-making quorum to continue with that matter, Mr. Speaker. We can approve other part of the business statement, but that matter that was invited, the committee invited the House for its consideration on that particular matter. The committee invited us, and we are not 138, and based on Article 104, we cannot continue, Mr. Speaker. I invite you to do the right thing. Mr. Speaker, as a lawyer as you are, you should do the right thing and respect the Constitution in the provisions in Article 104. I so invite you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I was at the business committee meeting. Mr. Speaker, what happened at the committee meeting was that when the matter came up, we argued and argued and argued, same way that we're arguing in the chamber, and there was no consensus. So I referred them to the appropriate orders 2842 and said, if you cannot come to a consensus, which is what the rules say, that you should decide by consensus. If you cannot come to a consensus, then you will have to put it to a vote. And the chairman, Honorable Ricketts, he was chairing, I was there, I'm the chairman, but I was not chairing, but he was chairing. He put it to a vote.
Voice vote first.
A voice vote first. Then there was some disagreement. We said, let's do head count. They said they didn't want their heads to be counted. They didn't want their heads to be counted. So I even encouraged them to cover their heads so that we'll count the other available heads. On a lighter note, Mr. Speaker, we joked about it. So we counted. And the majority side were 7. And then they said they wanted it recorded, that they protested. To say you want something recorded, that you are protesting against it, that you don't recognize it, doesn't mean that a vote was not taken. It also doesn't mean that you didn't lose the vote. Because the rules are clear that you put the matter to a vote. You either win or you lose, or you abstain. You didn't want to abstain, also didn't want your head to be counted. So how are we to go about it? So we said they should count those who were voting for it. So they counted, and 7 voted for. And there were 4. So we assume that naturally the 4 were either abstaining or voting against. So the matter could not have been referred to this House to take a decision. There's no way that the matter was referred to this House to take a decision. No matter what the secretary wrote there, because of this same matter, we said the secretary should tell us exactly what our conclusions were at the meeting, because we didn't want a situation where we will get to the chamber and there will be a dispute as to what had actually happened. So the secretary then indicated to us in their presence the conclusion that there was a vote, and the vote was 7 in favor of, and we didn't know whether the 4 were abstaining or they were voting against, but that they wanted to record it that they were against the position that we had taken. And that is it. There was no decision there that the matter was being referred to the House to decide. So, Mr. Speaker, that provision is hereby amended, because there was no decision, and there are members who were there. If they are in this room, unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, in order to raise a question of quorum, I noticed people walking out in droves. And so those who were members are no longer in the chamber to confirm exactly what happened. But, Mr. Speaker, that was what happened at the committee meeting. So the matter wasn't referred to this House to take a decision. So it is amended. And if there is a dispute, the clerk should be invited here to come and confirm whether what I'm saying is true or not. That was exactly what happened. No referral was made to this House, Mr. Speaker. No referral was made to this House. So it is hereby amended to that effect.
We've taken some time on this.
The same way, Mr. Speaker, that the Bank of Ghana component of our conclusions was also omitted. If you read what you have, the Bank of Ghana decision to invite the Bank of Ghana here on Wednesday was also omitted. And yet, if you ask them, they will tell you that they took that decision. So that's why I had to subsequently, amend the report to incorporate that. So I hereby amend the report to also delete any indication that the matter was referred to this House to take a decision.
Mr. Speaker, my suggestion to you is that this very matter be referred to the Right Honourable Speaker for further discussion with leadership, because, Mr. Speaker, it is going to set a certain new precedent. And you are a member of this House, and you are as a second Deputy Speaker. I suggest that let's go and discuss this matter with the Right Honourable Speaker, and then we can make progress. If he, as the head of this assembly, finally exercises the discretion that whatever is being said by the majority should be the new practice, then we have it on record. And then we are
Speaker insisted that there are so many means a member can be heard. There are so many means a member who is desirous to be heard that is indeed doing work in the chamber can be done. It can be done through questions, as this morning I was in a way trying to invite my members from the majority to ask questions. They can come through statements, they can come through motions, and all these are ways that members who are desirous to make industry in the chamber can do. When it comes to contributions and comes to debate, normally the practice of the House and by extension to other So, honorable members, what I'm saying, I'm not changing anything. I personally would like to go by the status quo, but the business committee has taken a decision. I think what the minority leader is saying is to refer to the speaker again. I think is in order. But honorable members, please allow me to finish. Honorable members, I think to allow anybody to speak rests with the speaker per standing orders 115. So whether I will be here or my brother or the speaker himself, he will be guided by it. And I think as to whether you allow members here to speak more or it will depend on the speaker. So please, I think we don't need to split our heads over this. I've heard majority on equitable point of view. I think I share with you, but the standard and the practice over the House is that one speak here, and that's why members, honorable members, that is why honorable members, that is why in the second Parliament, 166 against 134, that issue was not raised. That is why in the 7th Parliament, 169 against that was not raised. I think let's maintain it. But if whatever it is, honorable members, whatever it is, the business proposal that has been discussed is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker,
I have adopted your business statement, so it's okay. Yes. Honorable member, whatever yes. I said for me. The business statement has been adopted.
Yes.
I was just speaking for
let me just say
the
something.
way
yes. Let me just say something.
Yes.
Yes, so Mr. Speaker, for the avoidance of doubt, the media is covering. For the avoidance of doubt, the business statement is what has been adopted. And the business statement says that the allocation of time for the debate on the message on the State of the Nation motion, it shall be 63% here and 32% here. That's what it says. That's what it says. Okay.
Mr. Speaker, 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 we are guided. You guide us in this house, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I think you guide us in this house. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to say what the minority leader said. He has recorded. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
honorable members, let's close the chapter.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you heard the majority leader, and Mr. Speaker, what I'm simply trying to put across is that you have guided us, and you said
You have guided us, and you said the speaker. The speaker here means the leader of the institution parliament. That Mr. Speaker have said, and you were present, to the effect that one here, and that is what is stand. Whatever is contained in here was not what the speaker said. In order 115, when a member time to speak, lie on the speaker. So the majority leader assertion of his time allocation 68 to 32 is not approved. It's not there. It's not approved.
Honorable,
the speaker
honorable.
Said, one here. So it's not approved.
Honorable members, the presentation by the majority leader was to the effect that whatever decision that was taken at the business committee was not to be brought to the chamber for us to take a decision on. I mean, it has been presented, members have raised issues. Personally, I have also raised my own issues. And whatever it is, the business statement ought to be adopted. So we've adopted it with all. But like I said, if I am presiding or my member is presiding, per our standing orders 115, the person must catch the speaker's eye. Of course, I also encourage leadership because this has a far-reaching consequence. And therefore, I encourage leadership to meet and take decision on this. Even after the discussion of the honorable members, even after the discussion of the president's message, I think we need to holistically take a decision on this. So that is my discussion. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I beg you. We speak not just to ourselves in this chamber, we speak to a nation. There's a whole country watching us, a whole world watching us. Boko is in the world. Mr. Speaker, what happened today is that we brought the report of the business committee to be adopted. One of the items in the report is how we allot time for the debate on the motion on the state of the nation next week. And we have specific recommendations. It was disputed at the committee meeting, but we voted on it. And so it is part of the report. It has been disputed here, comments made, and etc. You yourself have expressed your reservations, but in the end, you put the vote, the question to us to vote and adopt it, and we have voted and we have adopted the report. So the report as adopted, the report as adopted. My understanding, Mr. Speaker, is very important because the journalists are going to report it in the news today. My understanding is that the decision of the House is that 68% of the time is allocated to the majority and 32% of the time allocated to the minority. That's the decision of the House. That's the decision. Mr. Speaker, I want the media to convey this because this is the decision. Mr. Speaker, the Speaker has made some comments. He has made some comments. And his comments are that, in his opinion, the allocation of time is governed by Order 115. That's what I heard the Speaker saying. To catch the Speaker's eye. But Mr. Speaker, you know that when we are debating the budget, when we are debating the State of the Nation address, it is not the person who rises that catches your eye. We normally write down the names on a list of paper and give it to you, and then you call them according to the name that we have given you and the times agreed. So it's not a question of who catches your eye.
It is how many we have given you and who we have given you, and how many they have given you and who they have given you, that you call. And that is what is going to govern the debate next week. So next week, we will give you 68% of the names, and they'll give you 32% of the names. And that's what you will call. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader. Honorable Majority Leader. Honorable Majority Leader. With regards to the names, can you educate me with regards to the names? Because all these are more or less conventions we have adopted. They are all conventions we've adopted. So specifically, if you are talking of handing over names to the Speaker, if you can educate me on so that, because I thought it's a standard, it's a convention that we all adopt. So if you want to help me, then help me well, so that I know per these standing orders, leadership can hand names to the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I have been in this chamber for close to 2 decades. Mr. Speaker, you always agree on the numbers for each side, and based on that agreement, the sides will give you the names of the members.
Yes.
Is that okay? So we are agreeing on the numbers. Mr. Speaker, because there was no consensus, so we voted and used our numbers, and so we have concluded that you are taking 32% of the numbers and we are taking 68% of the numbers. Mr. Speaker, this is straightforward. I don't see why we are debating this. And this has been concluded by the committee. And you have put the question on the report. It has been adopted. The only issue I have, Mr. Speaker, is when this House has taken a decision, and after the House has taken a decision, you are running commentary that appears to undermine the decision of the House. And that confuses the public. That's why I want clarity. That's why I keep repeating myself that this, so far as I am concerned, is the decision of the House. The House has adopted the report.
Honorable leadership, thank you. I think let's bring this to a close. I don't want to talk about it. I said probably leadership will have to take, because it has a far-reaching consequence. Leadership, any indication?
Speaker, considering that we just adopted business statement and the questions slotted for today have all been taken, we are in your hands. It's past 2 o'clock. We are ready to be adjourned. In any case, we have orientation starting tonight. Thank you. Orientation hall. So, Speaker, I want to urge our colleagues to join us for the orientation. It is important. The orientation will cure some of these matters that they are debating. So we are encouraging them to join us in hall 6 p.m. tonight. Speaker, thank you.
Majority Leader, will you put a motion? We've not spent. Okay.
Speaker, I move that the House be adjourned. I thank you.
Leader, say what by seconding, say whatever you want to say.
Speaker, I will not second the motion now, just to make a comment. My whip earlier made a call to us that we should join in the retreat. Speaker, let the record reflect now and the future that we are always for a workshop to build our capacity, and we have never turned down any invitation to such gathering. However, at the business committee, I made it abundantly clear the position of the minority. We said that as far as the decision, this recent decision, is at variance with custom and practices and what we are used to. There has never been a time that Parliament goes out for a retreat and the leadership is not consulted. The leadership is not involved in the planning, in terms of the choice of venue, in terms of resource person to come and make presentation to her. This was not done. Speaker, listen. Speaker, this was not done. So our position is a very principled position. We are saying that the clerk and the management should consult leadership. That has been the practice. So until that consultation is done, we cannot be part. We cannot be part of this weekend's retreat. And let nobody take it with malice. No, it's a very principled position, and that should be respected. Speaker, besides the point, we had also said that, and it is important our colleagues stay consistent with their earlier argument. We all want to reduce costs. We want to reduce costs. So the last time, the argument was strongly made that let's reduce costs by having the engagement here. What has changed? You are already saying that the economy is not strong. You already made the argument that the economy is not strong. So, Speaker, simply put, we want to reduce costs. So to that end, the retreat respectfully Speaker, to that end, let the retreats, with respect to my leader, Speaker, the principal position is that we want to reduce costs, and the chamber is spacious enough to contain all of us. So let's hold the retreat here, just as was done the other time. So let the record reflect same, and it's the reason why we are not partaking in the weekend's retreat. Cost is so important. Cost is so important. Speaker, that's it. But Speaker, we had agreed that colleagues, the Honorable Champon was here. Leader, sit down. Well, I don't know. Okay, well, he can come on the 122. I don't have no problem. Are you advising him? Speaker, the Honorable Champon was here, and we agreed that we'll take statement on both sides. So I asked him whether they had statement on their side, and he answered in the affirmative that there are two statements on your side. Yes, and we also have some statements. Speaker, we'll leave the decision to you to decide the number of statements to be admitted. So we can take one on each side, and then we'll call it a day. Then we'll call it a day. Yes, we have. Quorum is determined by the mood of the House. Quorum is determined by the mood of the House.
Yes, leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I understand what my honorable brother is trying to say. Ideally, you would expect that the clerk would have engaged you. But I think so there's something quite unique this time around, because we ourselves, we were not invited to anything. But then, of course, we like Who, so we are going to go to Who. I mean, it's a matter between you and the clerk to resolve this issue. It should not happen that way. But I will encourage you that you come to Who. So we will be there, and hopefully we'll be waiting for you. Hopefully you show up. Thank you.
The leader wanted people to dance the whole dance.
Yeah. The whole dance that your leader was requesting in the appointment committee is being done in Ho, so you can come to Ho. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Unless, assuming without admitting that our colleagues are not taking a cue from what His Excellency the President has given, even the celebration of Independence Day, it is being done at Jubilee House for a very good reason, to reduce costs. Yes. You are here, you want to increase costs. So they need to take a cue from His Excellency the President.
To reduce costs.
For the reason of reducing costs, we are not going to hold, we will have it here. We will have it here. And that's the decision. Come and join us.
Yes, leader.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the Minority Chief Whip is insisting that for the reason of reducing cost, we will have it here. Assuming we want to have it now, show me your members. Show me your members. Where are your members? Where are they for the purposes of the orientation? Okay, we'll have the orientation now. Show me your members. You are not here. You see, this is the reason why the clerk would like to move the location, because it is often difficult to get the MPs. It's difficult. So if you move MPs to a different locations where it is difficult for them to stay away, then you can have their attention for the purposes of the orientation. That's the reason why we often move out of the building. And Mr. Speaker, I don't even think that we have a facility that can take all of us at once. I don't think so. Unless we decide to have it in this chamber. That's the only other option. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this is a matter for the clerk. I mean, we as leadership of the House can engage with the clerk for the future. But I think this one, the plans are far advanced. And I think that I urge our colleagues to avail themselves of the opportunity to have this orientation program. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. So, honorable members, the motion has been moved. I hope you seconded.
Speaker, I did not. What I suggested was, we have one statement here and one there. Speaker, I will second the motion. But just to put the majority on notice, I want to put the majority on notice that SONA, His Excellency the President has come to present SONA to us. And the whip has not done what he has to do. All those matters are still at large. Speaker, I want to put my whip on notice. When we were on the other side, housekeeping matters were taken serious. So I plead with my whip. You shouldn't take these matters lightly. I plead with you. On that note, I second the motion.
Honorable members, let me thank you very much for your cooperation. It's all part of parliamentary practice. So I'll go ahead to adjourn the House to Tuesday the Tuesday the 3rd of March. Tuesday is 4th. I'm sorry. Tuesday the 4th of March 2025. Tuesday the 4th of March 2025. The House stands adjourned.
آمين آمين
وأعصمنا من كل هلكة
آمين
ونجنا من كل بلية
آمين
وآفة
آمين
وآهة
آمين
وغصة
آمين
ومهنة
آمين
وزلزلة
آمين
وشدة
آمين
وإهانة
آمين
وذلة
آمين
وغلبة
آمين
وقلة
آمين
وجوع
آمين
وعطش
آمين
وفقر
آمين
وفاقة
آمين
وضيق
آمين
وفتنة
آمين
ووباء
آمين
وبلاء
آمين 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 آمين
اللهم ارفعنا ولا
آمين
اللهم ارفعنا ولا تحرمنا
آمين
اللهم ارفعنا ولا
آمين
اللهم اجعل بلدنا غانا
آمين
بلدنا آمنا مطمئنا
آمين
وسائر البلدان
آمين
وآمنا في أوطاننا
آمين
ولا تفتنا
آمين
اللهم ارفع مقتك
آمين
وغلبك عنا
آمين
ولا تؤاخذنا
آمين
ما فعل سفهاؤنا
آمين
واختم لنا
آمين
وزن خادمة الناجين
آمين
الراجين
آمين
الذين قيل لهم
آمين
قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على
آمين
لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله
آمين
وأسقنا يا سميع يا
آمين
جنات عدن
آمين
التي وعدت للمتقين
آمين
الذين دعوهم فيها
آمين
سبحانك اللهم
آمين
وتجدون فيها سلام
آمين
سري آمن
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كلنا آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لا ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما عملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. نعم.
Thank you so much for that excellent leadership and wonderful remarks from the National Chief Imam, His Eminence Sheikh Osman Nuhu Shaributu. Round of applause one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Also help me acknowledge the presence of the former Inspector General of Police and member of the Council of State, Mohammed Al-Hassan. Round of applause. We've also been joined by the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment and MP for Wa Central, the Honourable Alhaji Rashid Pelpool. And so in a few minutes, we'll be getting ready to take our keynote address. But before that, we'll enjoy some wonderful interludes from the Ghana Police Central Band. Thank you. Round of applause for the Ghana Police Central Band. We truly appreciate you. And so, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the keynote address will be following shortly, but we'd like to make a very important announcement. As the address is ongoing, we are live on national TV. So please and respectfully, let's seize all movement as we enjoy the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to give us the keynote address at this very important event, the first gentleman of the land. He is the President of the Republic of Ghana. Put your hands together, standing ovation for His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama.
Take a paper from him for me. Thank you. Hello? Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much. His Eminence Sheikh Osman Nuhu Shaributu, the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Hajj Umar, Chief Imam of Al Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Honorable Alhaji Collins Dauda, Chairman of the Hajj Task Force, Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikwe, Minister for Transport,
Ms. Yvonne Nana Afri-Opare, Managing Director of Ghana Airports Company Limited, Reverend Solomon Ajasu Abidja, Director of Projects and Engineering and Construction Company Maus Limited, leaders of the Muslim community, and I recognize Sheikh Wadud, Sheikh Amin Bonsu, Molvi bin Sali, and other leaders of our Muslim denominations. I wish to welcome all of you to this simple but important ceremony this afternoon. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, on this blessed Friday, the last before we enter the holy month of Ramadan, I wish to extend to you the cherished Islamic greeting of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon all of us. This sacred period is a time of reflection, worship, and renewal of our faith as Muslims. In just a few hours, we will enter a month where the doors of mercy are flung open to all, and the forces of shaitan are restrained, and every act of worship is rewarded thousandfold. May Allah accept our fasting, our prayers, and the good wishes we cherish for ourselves, our family, and our nation. Our honored guests, brothers and sisters in Islam, it is a noteworthy moment for me to stand before you today. You may recall that my first public engagement upon assuming office was with the Ummah at the National Mosque, Kanda, where I made a solemn pledge to alleviate the heavy financial burden of Hajj on willing Muslims who intended to perform the pilgrimage. Today I'm pleased to announce that this pledge has been fulfilled, and the cost of Hajj was reduced from 75,000 cedis to 62,000 cedis. A savings of up to 13,000 cedis per pilgrim. Inshallah, this will significantly increase the number of people performing this sacred journey this year. I'm certain that next year we can even bring the fare down further. After we pay off the millions of dollars of debt that have accumulated in Saudi Arabia from earlier Hajj operations. This year, we intend to airlift exactly 5,000 pilgrims to the Holy Land. And the task force has announced 13th March as the deadline for payment. We have facilitated a pre-finance arrangement with one of the local banks. And so I'm pleased as I speak to you to announce that all deposits for accommodation, transport, and other facilities have been paid. I've instructed the Hajj task force that they should cut off at exactly 5,000 and not go beyond 5,000. We don't want the previous situation where people rush with late payments and we are unable to airlift them and they come complaining. This year we set up a task force to manage the Hajj, because after government took office, we realized that period between taking office and the Hajj was too close. And so we brought competent people together, headed by Alhaji Collins Dauda, as a task force to organize the Hajj for this year. After this year's Hajj, we'll constitute the Hajj board, and we will appoint the chairman of the Hajj board. I've instructed the task force that Hajj is not a business. Hajj is not meant for profit. The Hajj task force must not structure things in order to make a profit. We don't want a profit from Hajj. After the performance of Hajj, if there is even 1 CD left, that money should be donated to the poor or used for a project in the Muslim communities. His Eminence the Chief Imam, eminent Muslim Ummah, I'm also happy to announce that I've instructed the legal counsel at the presidency, Madame Marietta Brew, to amend the Public Holidays Act to provide an extra holiday for the Muslim celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Therefore, beginning this year, there will be 2 days of holiday at the end of the holy month of Ramadan. Indeed, Allah reminds us in the Holy Quran, and I quote, it says, "Verily, the first house of worship appointed for mankind was that at Makkah, full of blessings and guidance for mankind and the jinn." And this is Surah Al-Imran 396. And in another verse, and I wish to quote again, the Quran says, "And proclaim to mankind the Hajj. They will come to you on foot, on an every lean camel. They will come from very deep and distant mountain highways." And this is in Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, verse 27. Hajj is a spiritual journey of purification and a reaffirmation of our submission to the will of Allah. This journey begins with our 5 daily prayers, and it intensifies through the holy month of Ramadan and reaches its pinnacle in the rites of the Hajj. I've always told my father, the chief imam, that I pray that Allah spares his life so that he will see 2 things in his lifetime before he is called to Jannatul Firdaus. One of them was the construction of the National Mosque in Kanda, and I thank Allah that he spared his life to see that beautiful edifice. The second was the construction of a permanent Hajj village for pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. And today I thank Allah that our Father is with us on this auspicious occasion. Since I came into public service, one of my greatest concerns has been ensuring that our Ummah embark on this sacred journey with dignity and in a conducive environment. And indeed, there's a hadith that states, "Indeed, Allah is beautiful," I quote, "and loves that which is beautiful," unquote. In 2009, when President John Evans Atamils of blessed memory commissioned me as his vice president to supervise the Hajj operations, I found a very pathetic situation in which pilgrims were left to sleep in the open at the Elwak Stadium. Many of them were bitten by mosquitoes and came down with malaria even before boarding their flights for the Holy Land. I therefore, with a team, set out to remedy the situation with Alhaji Bene and his group by setting up a temporary Hajj village using tents next to the Elwak Stadium. This improved the condition of pilgrims while they prepared to embark on the Hajj. Following an aircraft overshooting the runway at the Kotoka airport, the temporary Hajj village had to be moved from that site, and it was brought to its current site close to the Accra Polo grounds. Each of these temporary structures was an improvement over the previous one, but none of them fully met the dignity and comfort that our pilgrims deserve. During all this time, we were engaged with the Ghana Airport Company Limited to provide land for a new and permanent Hajj facility to be built. I therefore today give credit to all those who have worked, including members of the past administration, to bring us to this point where we can catch sod for this complex facility that will guarantee the safety and comfort of our pilgrims before they leave for the Holy Land. Today we gather here not as politicians, but as one people, Ghanaians, who genuinely seek the welfare of our Muslim brothers and sisters wishing to embark on the Hajj. We're taking a bold step forward. This new Hajj village will serve as a modern, well-equipped and dignified facility for our departing pilgrims. Fellow citizens, as you were told, this edifice includes a fully air-conditioned pilgrims hall to ensure comfort before departure. And so this is like a terminal building, a smaller version of Terminal 3. And so they will be checked in there, and then they'll be taken straight to the aircraft to board and depart. There's a modern ablution and prayer area, a mosque, to facilitate spiritual preparation before our pilgrims leave. There's a well-organized accommodation, comfortable accommodation, to allow the pilgrims to rest peacefully before their flights are ready. There's a dedicated health facility, a modern clinic, to provide medical care and screening before they depart. There's a market and catering facilities so that they can be well fed before they leave. There will be an immigration desk and check-in services to streamline travel procedures before they embark on their pilgrimage. This project has been on the drawing board for a long time, and I thank Allah for allowing me to see this beautiful dream fulfilled. My thanks go to the management and staff of the airport company, Madam Yvonne and her staff, for making this project possible through what is a land swap agreement. And I thank our brother, the owner of Meshes Mawum's Construction, who are the promoters of this project, for their perseverance and diligence in bringing this project to commencement. My dear brothers and sisters, as I said, this project is for the welfare of all Muslims, notwithstanding political affiliation. And it is my fervent hope that we'll gather again here once more 24 months from now to commission this beautiful edifice to the glory of Allah. May Allah bless this project, may Allah bless this initiative and grant it success. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. And before I resume my seat, I wish to extend my thanks to our Muslim ministers and MPs. They, at the beginning of the holy month of the Ramadan and the fasting, have brought to me 7,650 bags of sugar and 2,650 bags of rice to be distributed to the Muslim Ummah for people who do not have food to eat during the Ramadan. And so we'll do that presentation too here. Immediately after this event, we'll hand over these products. I want to thank Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak and all his colleague Muslim ministers and MPs for this kind gesture. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for that excellent and exciting keynote address. I thought we'll do a big round of applause and put us time for the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Thank you for all the chants and the cheers. I can sense that there's excitement in the house. Thank you. And so we'd like to wrap up with our closing prayer, after which we'll get ready to do the official sword cutting for this very important ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as I make welcome the National Chief Imam of Al Sana, Wow Juma, Sheikh Hajj Umar. A round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Babu shakka malam wai ni zai karshen addu'a. Mun gode ma Allah jalla wa ala da ganin wanga rana da aka bani labari cewa za mu zo a gwada muna inda za a yi Hajj village. Ni na ce fili za mu zo mu gani. Da shigowa na sai ga karfuna filoli sun tsaye na ce ai an kare. Allah ya kara haka nan. Allah ya kara haka nan. Wanga bawan Allah da Allah ya ba mu shi. In dai ba mu zama mutane ba mu zama. You too can do, you too can develop, you too can build. Why don't you build? Who are you waiting? An ka maka komai, an bude maka kofa, sauran ka ce na gode, Allah gode muna. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita wa rahimta wa barakta على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. الله يبود أمنا، الله يسأل بركة كده اليوم. إنا كده مسلمي باكي إياه، إنا كده مسلمي باكي إياه. متاسس إيه مزاد ماتا كنا أرزكي. الجنة بس كمان كل يوم. باقي شيء الجنة بعد كل يوم. كاجا الله قام كذي. إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أنفسهم وأموالهم بأن لهم الجنة. بسلا كلمو سيلو كودي كتاشي كنما ككل الدنيا ككل الآخرة. آمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة ما يصفون، سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you so much, Ghana Police Central Band. And so we'd like to usher His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, to please make his way to the official Sod. And so we'll move to the official Sod-Cutting location, which is located to the left-hand side of the high podium. Thank you. Let us respect protocol and security, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
لقد فاز من كان الرسول إمامه سما سود بالذات فوق منازل محمد وجاء بقولي فاصلي غير خازلي ولما نفى بالعلم جانا وائلي دممنا يد التحقيق عن كل
The President of the Republic. This will be done by just the President. And so the President will inspect the drawings of the new Hajj village layout, which will have a terminal, the residence, the prayer room, the waiting area, and some wonderful amenities.
لمولانا ووصل صوابي
Alright, so right after this, His Excellency will get ready for the official Sod-Cutting. And as this is a construction site, we have a shovel ready for the president.
وذكرنا بالخير ووالما بي فما زال في الدنيا وعند مغابي ينير الحاجات ترمي بابك فيلقون أمنا في الممات وفي المايا نبي على كل خنام مقدم نبي على كل
worked with Juaben Foundation, an NGO here in Accra. On the political front, Mr. Chairman, I have held several positions within the National Democratic Congress. I have been a teen organizer, I've been a branch youth organizer, a constituency executive committee member, a deputy propaganda secretary for my constituency, Swami. Mr. Chairman, by the grace of God, I rose to become the regional youth organizer of the party in Ashanti region. And I also contested to enter this honorable house in 2016 as the NDC's parliamentary candidate in the 2016 election. Mr. Chairman, I am currently the Deputy Director for Special Duties of the NDC at the party headquarters. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. As usual, questions will be posed to you and you are expected to provide answers to those questions. Starting very well. Ranking member has a preliminary issue.
In your brief introduction, you mentioned a number of companies that you work with by way of your work experience. And these are not on your CV. Would you want to take the leave of the chair to amend